So I'm back, and I'm back with the WeirdiDala, and I'm gonna use some of the same colors that I used for this one. I'm gonna use the canary yellow and this orange and that red, and I'm gonna use this pink and that purple and that blue and that turquoisey green and the emerald and the limey one. So that means three. We have a set of 9 now. And that's the colors that I'm going to be using for this one, because we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 ladies. So it's going to go in 9s, this one, because I have my system of how I do those for the cover. So then I have a basic set, and I just sorted out most of the darker colors on the set that we just used on the Weirdy of today. Oh my God, he always calls me this time. Sorry, 1 second. Hey, sweetie. Hey. Hi. It's going fine. I had something strange on my phone. What? Yeah, I'm doing. I tried to call you yesterday when I finished. I wasn't that late yesterday. But then you'd never answer the Viber when I call you. And I should just call you on your normal phone. Yeah, no problem. Well, anyways, I'm on live again, actually. So it seems like we always cross the lines. I was actually thinking about calling you before I went on today, but I was a bit stressed. So we'll have to find a day where we can talk where it's earlier. Maybe tomorrow. Yeah, okay. Well, anyways, I'm not gonna share that with all my viewers, you know. Okay. We will. Okay, bye. Okay, so I'm sorry, but it seems like he is destined to call me every time I am on a live video, and every time I try to call back, then there's no getting through. So it's a little bit, yeah, it's just the way it is, I guess. So we're here, and we're ready with this one. And if you want it, it's in the link in the description. And I put it at 0+, where it will stay while I'm live, and afterwards I will put it at 150. But that's great. So you can get it now for free. That's the perk of being here. So I'm just gonna dig in. And I was actually thinking a little bit about, yeah, I'm just gonna start and go at it. And the first, you know, it's gonna be a little bit, you know, like that. You've seen me do this before, so, but I think I'm just gonna take it easy and quiet, getting through it. I think it's gonna be lovely, and I think these girlies are absolutely adorable. I like the way that they're sort of dancing around, having a great old time. So yeah, so this is sort of, yeah, the system, one of each color, so that they all become slightly different, because that's the kind of way I like it. So this is the light green, and here I stay on for the next yellow. I mean, in the start, it's going to be showing not a lot, but when we get a little bit further, it's not a big one, this one, so it will soon be shaping up so that we see a little bit more. But up here in the little tops of their hair, They are so tiny little spaces, so we don't see it yet, but it will develop. It will come, and they will be funky girls dancing around. Maybe they're doing like a midsummer dance. I could imagine that, doing some kind of midsummer dance. And it's also a great excuse for not being able to talk that I'm on a live video. Huh? Sometimes it can be difficult to know what to say on the phone. I'm not always the best to communicate on the phone. So it's actually going pretty fast because it's such little spaces. Yeah, I think, you know, of course, yeah, I have imagination, but it's sort of like, you know, I start and then all of a sudden I start seeing things, and then probably the imagination kicks in. So it's, yeah, it's not like I have a picture of how it's going to look like before I start. It's just sort of develops. They just sort of appear. Or, you know, beginnings of them appear, and then all of a sudden they're further along than I had thought. So it's a funny process with the weirdies. It's like we are sort of kind of born in a way. As I don't really plan them out, like, whereas with some other things I already know exactly what I want it to look like, or something like that. Where they just sort of, it's just sort of all of a sudden they're there, and then, you know, then I start seeing things, and then I sort of develop on them. But initially it's just a few lines, and then I start looking at the lines, and then I start seeing shapes and forms, and then I'm thinking, oh, this is there, and and then the story, or yeah, the story appears in a way, and the weirdie takes shape, and the details become added, and all of a sudden I see little eyes or little spaces where there could be faces, and that's how it comes about. So here I'm going to stay on and make the first yellow. So I've been hurrying here just to get that little inner part, because that's so tiny. Now we're starting to see more as we go along. So then it becomes a little bit more interesting. You see? So they're all going to be different weirdy girls dancing around. Yeah, but I also run out of things to say, but luckily when he calls, he always has a lot of things to say, so usually I can just sort of, I don't have to say a lot, and that makes it easier. You don't have to say a lot. So it's orange, and I'm going to continue that orange here, and sort of to get it to have a connection. So that's why I'm continuing the orange in the next section. I do that quite a lot. Continuing the sections so that it sort of has a connection from one part to another part of the image. I think that makes sense on the finished piece. So it's just how I think and how I do it. And there's, like I always say, there's no right or wrong. With weirdies, you can go any way you feel, do anything you feel like, because you can actually do that with any in any picture to color, because it's really only your own imagination and creativity that sets the limits of what you can do. I mean, you can make, if there's a beautiful, beautiful elephant, you can make it a rainbow elephant if you like. That could look pretty cool too, you know. Going out of the box and just, you know, doing something, you know, it doesn't have to be looking like an elephant in the colors. It can look like a rainbow, or it can be silver and yellow, and you know, it can be anything you want it to be. You can draw little hearts and stars on it, and you know, that's it's all up to you. Whatever you can imagine, that elephant can take, and it will be absolutely your piece when it's done. So I think that's important to always remember that, and don't feel that you're expected to do anything specific, but do whatever you feel inclined to, or whatever is your first impulse, what you would like to do. And if your first impulse is that you want to paint, you know, the elephant gray, well, then do that. Then that's fine too. But you know, it doesn't have to be gray. It can be anything else. So yeah. This is good. Maybe I should suggest him that he comes color WeirdiDala with me. Here in the, you know, on the video, he could just go in on a Facebook and follow and color WeirdiDala. Then he'd know exactly when I'm on. So, and it would be kind of like, you know, my voice would be there. So I might do that. I do have a problem seeing him sitting coloring a WeirdiDala. It would be totally out of the box. It's actually a pretty funky picture seeing that. So yeah, this is looking good. Now I could have, if I wanted to be fast, I could have started a few other places, but I don't necessarily. I want it to be good. I don't want it to be fast. I want it to look good. I want it to be where, you know, when I let it take shape from up here and down, I don't start a lot of different places, then it takes that spiral shape naturally. Whereas if I started other places, I would probably have some unnatural stops in between, which it wouldn't be bad either, but you know, it would just not be the way that these are sort of meant to pan out. The way of my little system, on these WeirdiDalas. When I got into the mandalas for the covers of Mandala 2, this is for WeirdiDala 3, but when I get into the covers of Mandala 2, you will see that I work with the same colors, but there I work in a different manner than here. I do use the rainbows because that's what I use for my art, cover art for the Weirdis, for the WeirdiDalas, and for the mandalas, because those three series are kind of connected in my mind, the way I make them, the way I draw them, the way I work on them, and the level of them, you know, because they're all round, they're for everyone. Some are a little bit more complicated, some are a little bit more easy, so it's for everyone to enjoy and have fun with. And if you're like really, you know, into complicated, well, you can make them more complicated. You can put yourself challenges. It's not like that you can't do them if you are into very complicated or intricate, but you know, this is all round for everyone. And also for kids, you know, because I know that kids really enjoy the weirdies as well. Kids have great imaginations and they can imagine all kinds of stuff when they see the weirdies too. And that's just an added bonus that it's for everyone in that respect. I think for me it's an added bonus because I like that some things can be for anyone. No limit to who can actually enjoy and have fun with it. So yeah. This is going really well. So here we have to stay on for the yellow to continue that new round. You can see it's already shaping up pretty fastly. And do remember, all of you, that you have that free page. It's set at 0+, and it will be at 0+ as long as I'm coloring it. So it's a perk for you guys who join me. Afterwards, it will be changed, and the price will be $1.50, because I think that's a fair price, because it's going into my new book. And so this is a perk for those of you who are with me on the videos, that you can grab it at 0+, which means if you really want, you can still leave me a tip. But you can get it for free. That's the perk. So there has to be some perks for being in on the live videos when I'm on, and keeping me company and talking and chatting, and we're coloring together and having fun, which makes it a lot more fun to color and do this. So I like that. It's cozy time, relaxing time. So it's gonna be shaping up goodly. You're welcome. It's nice to see all of you here. I wasn't sure what I was gonna do, because I was thinking like, okay, but I can't sleep anyways, and I know that, you know, I have to get these 10 for the cover colored before I can even make the cover. So, and this is number 4, so I still got 6 for the first for the WeirdiDala 3 cover missing, and I still have 9 for the mandala one missing. So I have to sort of try to get them fitted in when I can. Otherwise, we'll have to wait forever to have those books out, and that wouldn't be fun either, because they've already been sitting on my computer for a long time. I think I've had them for over a year, the drawings. I just never got around to coloring for the cover, and then I kind of probably was busy with a lot of things, and I forgot that I even had them done. But I'm happy you guys found me. I'm really happy. But I didn't do a lot of, I didn't advertise, or, you know, like I wasn't out there before. I only just started doing that in November, December, because I thought now it's my turn. I'm not done doing global doodle jams or helping other artists. I'm not done with that, and I'll still publish for other artists too, and I'll still do global doodle jams books. But I think I needed a break where I could also concentrate on some of my own work. because I haven't done that for almost 3 years. So I thought now it's time that, you know, I've spent over 2.5 years where I was just totally only focused on Global Doodle Gems and all the other artists. And I was thinking now it's sort of my turn. I'm gonna focus a bit on me, and all because all the time that I was doing Global Doodle Gems and helping everyone else, I was still drawing my own drawings and making my own books. I just wasn't getting them out because I didn't have time for that. So I thought November and December, I'm gonna start being more active. Also because I felt horrible about having a fan page, and I had almost 5,000 fans on my page, and I wasn't doing anything on my page for 2.5 years. I was thinking that's not really fair. I should be doing something. So I started doing something, and now I'm continuing, and I'm giving that my 99%, or let's say 90, and then 10% will still be going to the rest. It will of course not be as much as before, at least for a time, because I need that. I need to also be me, just for me also, and work on my own art and development and have some time for that, because I neglected myself for a long time, and now it's time for me to get back on my own art too, and I'm enjoying that a lot, and I'm enjoying interacting with all of you, and enjoying making the videos, and also, you know, like just, you know, seeing my work being appreciated, being colored, and working with revisiting my own images, because I never had time for that. So I'm really happy that, yeah, me too, Heather. I'm happy that I did that. So yeah, I'm really, oh, you started coloring again. That's great. Yeah, you weren't in on the epic. But when we hit 6,000, when I hit 6,000 followers, then I'll revisit the epic, and you'll have a chance to get some of them. My plan is that everyone can enter 3 books from the epic giveaway that they would like to have. And of course, also those who were in the epic can enter. You know, they might not have all of them. Some might have missed some, even though a lot did get the rest of them in the extra between between Christmas and New Year's. But I was thinking that would be the best, that we revisit for all the new ones who weren't there December. I think that would be a good thing, to just have a little reconnect to the epic. It was a nice giveaway, and it's a nice selection of books, so to choose 3 out of 24 is pretty good, I think. So that's what I'm planning on. I have so many emails, because every time there is a download on PayHip, I get an email about it. So I think I have about 200 emails, and usually I have sort of an overview, a statistics overview of how many it takes each drawing, and I don't really need to do it because there's great statistics on PayHip, but I'm a sucker for the process and for having control. But I think I'll have to let go because it's too time consuming. So I'll have to let go a bit of that and try to focus, you know, like, you know, I want to focus the energy on the things that really needs to get done instead of practical stuff. I need a lot of practical stuff. I also need to call the dentist about that broken tooth. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I don't want to call the dentist. I don't want to go to the dentist. I'm like a little kid. I don't want to go to a dentist. I told my dad today that I broke my tooth, and he's like, you have to call the dentist. I'm like, yeah, but I don't really feel like it. And he's like, yeah, but you know, it's stupid. Your teeth should last at least 50 years more. So, yeah, I'll have to call that dentist and go for voluntary torture. I mean, damn. I don't understand why it had to break, but there's also a thing about, you know, when you get fillings and stuff, usually they do not last forever. So this is old filling probably. Either the filling that fell out. I don't think it's the filling that fell out. I think it's the tooth around the filling that fell off because it was really crunchy. So I'm thinking the filling wouldn't have been crunchy. So yeah. I mean, it fell out while I was sleeping, and then when I woke up, there was something Victoria had made some candy for me, and I was eating it, and I was like, it's crunchy. What's wrong with it? But I think what was wrong with it was that I had like the tooth in my mouth, or those leftovers of it that had broken off or whatever. Ugh, it was really annoying. Really, really annoying. But I guess it's just that happens with age, and the teeth are just not as great as they used to be. So here I'm going to stay on and put the yellow on here. And this yellow I'm going to continue down. I'm going to continue it down on this one because it feels natural. Or a little nosy thing. Or a little nosy thing. So that's where I continue to. And on to the next. So, you know, before we know it, we'll be on to the dresses. This is not one of the most complicated long. No, they're not all they're cracked up to be, that's for sure. No, I can't wait too long, but I really hate the dentist. The teeth are nasty, and it was Sunday that it happened. Sunday, and we're on Tuesday. Well, actually in Denmark we are actually already on Wednesday. But tomorrow I'm busy because I have to wait for UPS to come with the proofs. Of course, waiting for UPS to come with the proofs is not really an excuse for not calling the dentist. Because you can make a phone call even though that you're waiting for UPS. You can. I mean, it is possible. But on Thursday, Victoria I have to get the girls from school because she's taking home the little girl Emma, and they're gonna be hanging out and playing. So Thursday I definitely don't have time to call the dentist. But you always have time for a phone call, don't you? I have to come up with something better than not having time to make the phone call, because the first thing I have to do is make the phone call. And then I know that there will be a wait because my dentist is always really busy. So there will be a wait. But I do also know that she tries to take me in as fast as possible because she knows of my slight dilemma about going to the dentist in the first place. So she knows that she has to act if there's something, because I can change my mind 100 times about coming. And it's probably, you know, the best thing is probably just to get it over with. I know, I mean, be a big girl and get it over with. But, you know, I also know I have to go alone. Nobody's going to go with me. I mean, I don't want to take Victoria with me because I don't want her to see me crying. And my dad is definitely not going to go because he thinks it's ridiculous. So I'm going to have to go there alone and just get it over with. I'm really, oh, but I can feel it with my tongue. It's like deep in the cheek. It's not one of those places where it's easy to get to. So it's an annoying spot. It's funny, some of them are a little bit. Yeah, so I have to do that. Yeah. I hate all things that have to do with doctors. Any doctor's appointments. I even also have to make a doctor's appointment for Victoria. And I do have the referral. I just have to find a doctor and call. You know, back in the old days, my old doctor, if she made a referral, she would make a referral for a specific doctor, you know? And then you would get go there. But the new system is they just send a fucking referral into cyberspace. You don't even get it in your hand, and then you have to go on the internet and find some doctor and make an appointment. I find that absolutely annoying because I like the fact that the doctor recommended the specialist that you're going to, and not that you have to like research them all and pick out someone. And I think that's really annoying. But I guess it's just something I have to get used to in this modern day and age, that I have to pick out my own doctors, that I can't just trust on a general medical to send me to the right person to begin with. I have to find them. I have to stalk them and find them. Which sort of makes it even more difficult thing to get done, because I have to figure out which one to call, and yeah, I find that really annoying. But I guess I'm just oh, that's sweet of you, Tina. Great, nice to see you, Ross. And remember, while we are on here, you can get this one for $0. It's a perk for all of you guys who join me on the videos. After I'm finished with the video, I'll change it to $1.50, so you can get it at $0 while I'm coloring. If you want to get this one and download and color, and you will be the first ones to get it for sure, because it is going to take some time before I'm done with all of the ones for the cover. I don't know why I would make that I needed to have 10 on the cover. That's typical me, excess. Why not just choose that you have one on the front and one on the back? I mean, why make it difficult for myself? That I have to color 10 before I can even start designing the cover. I already have the cover design. I hope I think I have the templates, because I did lose a lot. I had a hard disk that fell over, it tipped over, and everything on the hard disk was lost. All the work for 2 years' work, everything. That was a nightmare. That was like, I cried. I literally cried. And I did find a place where they might have been able to restore it in Jutland, and I sent the hard disk there, wrapped in one of my sweaters. And unfortunately, and it would have cost me 6,000 kronas, almost, like $1,000, if he could have retrieved the information. And I was willing. I was like, I have to. It's everything. All the work that I did, and it was a lot of originals and stuff that I couldn't get back. So yeah, it was really. And then sadly he could not retrieve it, so he sent me back the hard disk, and I only paid for the shipping of the hard disk. So that was heartbreaking to lose that. That was really, really, really not nice. And it only just tipped slightly. It wasn't like it fell from the table to the floor. It just tipped over on the desk. So you have to be really careful with these external hard disks because some of them are very, very sensitive, oversensitive. So that looks good, and we stay on for the yellow. Oh, they're gonna be lovely, these girlies, I think. So they could have like different color names, you know, of whichever color is gonna be the most on them, because they're all gonna be different. I think they're gonna be lovely. And I like this that they're dancing around. Yeah. It's sort of a happy picture. I mean, you know, it's a WeirdiDala because they're weirdies. It's also a kind of mandala, but it's a different kind of mandala. You know, if I had started making lines here and connecting everything, then it would have been a mandala. Yeah, I'm thinking of when I can go and visit Zenit. I don't know when it will be, because it's also a process. I have to pull myself together. So I'm thinking about when. And it could possibly be when the kids have some school holiday, maybe. We will figure it out. And I mean, I can bring my laptop and my camera and stuff like that. So you know, yeah. And only one set of colored pencils, I think. I can't bring all of them. I have to try to limit myself. Maybe one set of markers, one set of pencils. Yeah. So we'll have to figure that out when we can do it. Yeah, bright and cheery now. I mean, the first one I did was a little bit darker, but now on this one, because first one I did with 18. I did bigger because that was a weirdie. So, and then on this one I took out the darkest colors to just get that vibrant 9. So now we also have the set of 9 of the style files. We have it on the chameleons, we have it on the tigers, we have it on the Sharpies, and now we have it on the style file. So the next one we're going to go for to get a set of 9 will be the Letraset Pro markers. Definitely Letraset Pro markers. And also, yeah, I love working with them. And then we need to make a set of 9 of the Faber-Castell ones and a set of 9 of the 6. Oh, it's going to be so difficult to choose 9 out of the 6. I just love those. Those are like really the best watercolor markers so far I've tried, I think. Yeah, well, the Faber-Castells are equally good. I mean, I think, you know, in a way, because the Faber-Castell have that a little bit more pastel-y touch, that little bit more muted colors, then I think actually the 6 and the Faber-Castell Artist Pit Brush are a perfect combination, because then you cover the really vivid, bright, and you still have that muted pastel. So I think actually those two as a watermarkers would be a perfect combination. Then you would have covered all your bases. Of course, it's not a cheap one, but those two, because they are so different in the vibrance and in the color scheme, they could supplement each other very well, because there's I don't know how many markers. I think there's 60 markers in the Faber-Castell Pit Artist Brush set. I think there's 60 there, and there are 80 in the thick clean brush set. So I think, you know, with those two together, you're covering at least 140 different colors, because none of them are the same in my book. So yeah, so in that way, yeah, because they're more muted, whereas the six are more clean in it, so they would complement each other as two sets that could be used together. I think. Me thinks so. So yeah. I mean, I don't understand why my laptop is so annoyed and wheezing, because, you know, I'm not like recording, I'm sending live. It's not like it has to record it and remember it, because it's alive, so it's Facebook that will remember it. So I don't really understand why he's being such a complaint. And I think, you know what, I think the school cheated me. When I started multimedia design, I got an offer to buy this Mac Pro book from them, from Apple, through them, at a really good deal where you could pay in several rates, because I could never afford to just buy it outright. But with the deal and with the rates I could buy it in, then I could afford it. And so I bought it. But, you know, I think I didn't get a new one like what I was supposed to. I don't think I got a new one. I think I got one that they cleaned up, because I had problems with it even before it was 4 months old. And they never replaced it. All the time they always try to fix it or change things in it, or now it's out of warranty, but I really feel like I got a bad deal there. Because I can't for the life of me understand why he should get so tired so quickly. I've worn out a lot of computers in my time, and I even only started really seriously with computers in 2003. So I don't know. I guess I wear them out. At some point, I was thinking maybe I radiate some kind of thing that the electronic devices just don't like or something, because they seem to die on me. And I do everything to take care of them. I update them. I'm not a non-techie person. I try to sort of understand and do what I'm supposed to do, I guess. But they don't seem to hold up with me very long. So maybe I'm just a bad influence on electrical devices. You know, actually, I'm thinking here that I want to carry this green down there, because it sort of fits with my flow here. So I'm thinking that, thinking out loud, and then we're going to stay in the yellow here, because then that yellow will feel much more natural coming in here. Yeah, that was a good idea, I think. So yeah, they're going to be pretty girlies. Have any of you downloaded it? Anytime you wear a watch, it dies. Yeah, so maybe, you know, maybe some of us are just not meant for electronic devices. Oh. So yeah, I should have continued. I'm just gonna backtrack, because now I made that decision here. So this one should be there, just so that I don't mess up on my own brilliant system that I just invented. So I'm just gonna carry that through here, so I don't do something wrong on that. I should have gone another round, but I'm just gonna go around now, so I make sure that I get them all the same way they're supposed to be, according to my new deal. So color a WeirdiDala. I actually, you know, I write color a WeirdiDala out in one in one word, and use it as a hashtag. When I do the red bubble and the Society 6 and on the YouTube, and when I put them on the blog, I do that. So you could also do that if you want. So I just color a WeirdiDala, all small letters in one word. I don't know if that's how you work a hashtag, but that's what I've done. So let's hope that it works. So now we've gone through them. And now we're ready for, the yellow was there. Now we're ready for that orange. You're coloring it. Ah, oh, awesome, Heather. Nice to know. You were quick in getting it in. And you too? Awesome. It's good enough to download it. Then you can color it when you want. Awesome. Oh, Jeanette Woman, she has some really lovely, lovely images too. She's also, I love her work. It's very clean and beautiful. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. And we have to figure out when you're gonna do a live here. I was actually thinking, Tina, I was thinking, but we have to see when you have time for it. But I know that my boyfriend has a slight plan of maybe coming by on Friday, because he has to take down the Christmas tree so that I don't have it all year round. And he was planning to do that on Friday. I think that is his plan. So it could maybe be nice if I could cook him something on Friday. I don't know. It depends what time he wants to come by. I didn't ask him. The thing about not calling, I never call him, really. So I should probably also call him sometimes. So just, like write a text, maybe. Write a text. I can write a text. But I always had this, he has to call me and that's it. And that's probably because I'm used to somebody who calls me every day. Every day. And he still calls me every day. You guys hear it. He calls me every day. And I'm kind of used to that. Somebody thinks about me and just calls me just to hear what's up with me and what I'm doing. So I'm used to getting some attention. So the other way around, where you forget to call for 2 weeks, I don't get that. I don't understand it. It's just like weird, very weird for me. So I guess right now I probably am torn. I don't know. Choices. Well, my first choice is that I do my art first, and then we'll see what happens later. I do my art, and we'll see what happens in life, little by little. I think it's good to have a focus, and my main focus always is Victoria. then my art, and then everything else comes after that. And then we'll just see what holds up and what does not hold up. Oh, lots of comments here. Yes, I'll put the YouTube. Yeah. Oh, you have kitties. That's also nice. You're free Friday. Maybe we should just make it a date and you do your first guest appearance on Friday. That could maybe, I don't know. It could be fun. I don't know if you like to. I mean, I would make you like an admin in on my page so that you can hit up straight from the page and everything. And what we will talk about the details. It's not that complicated. But I'll just try to make sure that, because if he's coming, then, you know, it might be nice if I can chill a bit and not stress too much, or, yeah, maybe not stress too much. What did I really, I don't know, don't think I stress, but sometimes I probably do without knowing that I'm stressing. I might be doing that. I finally got Victoria convinced to wear ski pants this morning. She flat out refuses to wear any warm clothes because she says she's sweating, always sweating and hot. But it's cold, you know, you can't just wear, I mean, she definitely, all the, what's called, those strømpebukser, leotards, no, they're not leotards, what are they called? Pantyhose. All the pantyhose that she have, she threw out. She won't wear pantyhose. She only will wear normal socks. That's it. And then she will not wear, you know, jeans and stuff like that. No. She didn't like wearing jeans, so she'll only wear like leggings. But you know, that's not warm enough when it's like cold. And she's been flat out refusing to wear the ski pants and everything. So this morning I got her convinced that she should, you know, wear the ski pants, because there had been talk that there might be snow. So she put them on, and then the first two, they didn't fit, because even that I bought them for this winter, since she hasn't worn them, they're already too small. But the third one did fit, and she wore them. She outgrows the clothes. The third one was a size 12 to 13 years old. So she's grown a lot. And she's only 8. Because the other ones, they were 10 to 11. And they just, they don't fit. But the 12 to 13, they fit her. So it's funny when her dad is so small and I'm not really that big, but she's already got feet the same size as me. Yeah, yeah. We'll take it over Messenger. It will be fine. It will be easy peasy. Thermal leggings. Well, the plan has always been that there was going to be maybe guest hosts sometimes, because I was thinking, you know, it would be boring to see me every day, or you know, it might be nice, you know, that sometimes there's a guest host that does things a little bit differently, or you know, that could also be a fun thing that happens. And of course, it's not realistic that I can do every day. And sometimes I probably also need to take a break or something. But But it's been the idea from the beginning that sometimes there would be a guest host on. And Tine has offered to be guest host. So, so I'm thinking, that, I don't know, we will see what happens and how things play out. I'll probably not be able to stay away. Besides, I also have to color the WeirdiDala anyways. So I don't know, because now I've sort of I've set because I also have to color them. So I should have checked out which ones I'd colored before, and then make sure that on the days of the ones that are already colored, that can be the guest host days. But I'm coloring them new, so I didn't want to, I don't want to have it to be some of my older colorings. I want it to be new colorings for this event, and not the ones that I did originally when I first colored. So you can see that I drag this one with the mouth. I drag it down to the first on the chest, just to get that continuation. Same thing I did as with the little hairpiece. I dragged it into the big hairpiece or hat or whatever it is. Whatever it can be. It could be anything. Maybe their heads are just shaped funny. Or they're wearing hats, or they got their hair up on the head on. Could be a lot of different things there. I think also, like, it might be interesting to see how somebody else would color Weirdy, and I think maybe if you hear me every day, it might get boring, and I might do things the same way a lot. So maybe to see somebody else do it and get some tips from somebody else could be fun. But I don't know. We will see how things go, and so far we only have 2 confirmed guest hosts, Tine, and I know that Johanna will also be guest host. So far, it's most likely that you will see me most days, but then maybe sometimes just spiced up with a Tine doing one, or Johanna doing one in between. I think that's nice. And then I've made the offer to other artists that they can come on and color Weirdy, and then they can sort of, maybe after they colored the Weirdy, show off one of their books and make some, look at the book and tell a little bit about themselves as an artist. But so far there hasn't been a lot of volunteers, but I haven't spread the word a lot of places, because I want a Weirdy a day to grow a little bit before, because I think that will give the other artists more incentive to come in and join us. And I think there are definitely some artists that will be able to give some great hints in coloring, because they're great colorists as well, and that's always nice to get some good tips and tricks, and maybe they would have maybe different kind of colors than me, and they can talk about them, and then we also get to know even more different sets of colors and another opinion on some colors. So I think it could be a win-win. I'm thinking maybe have a guest on once a week or something like that. I think that could be good all around. Yeah, well, I was thinking about holiday. Well, first of all, last year was the first time me and Victoria was on holiday. But I would be able to bring the laptop and the cam, so I would probably be able to do a Weirdy a day, even if I wasn't home, if there was a Wi-Fi connection, of course. Without a Wi-Fi connection, I would not be able to do it. But since we don't go on holiday a lot, I mean, I'm also wondering what I'm gonna do when when Victoria's aunt from Ecuador comes, she's gonna come here with the cousin for 10 days. How I'm sort of gonna handle that. Because it would be rude if I'm always on the computer. I can't just every night be on the computer. So maybe, you know, there I will be either doing it at a different time, or maybe I'll just ask them to join us. You know, I mean, then I can set up the camera on my big table, and then maybe, you know, we can all be coloring together or something. You know, we'll have to see how we're going to do that. It's just a matter of fitting it in, and then, you know, fitting the circumstances in around it. I mean, it might be fun for others to have a try and you know, color with us, and you know, it could be a good way of getting to know Victoria's aunt better if we sit and color together with her and her daughter, or just me and her, and then yeah, we'll see what happens. Exactly. So yeah, we'll just see. But I think, you know, maybe for me it would probably be good to have one day a week where I sort of take a break, or if you know, yeah, I don't know. That could probably be quite nice, um, especially if I also have to see boyfriend sometimes. I mean, of course, does get off work very late, but he doesn't get off work late every day. He has days off. He works 5 days a week. So there's some days where it might be nice if I could make dinner and we could have a dinner together and I didn't have to make a video. But I mean, if I feed him really well, he will fall asleep a couple of hours after the food anyways. Then I can do the video while he's sleeping off the food anyways. So, you know, it can be timed, you know. If I serve him dinner at 8, we eat until like 9:30, then he will sleep until 12. Then I can, from 9:30 till 12, do the video. But then, of course, we would have to listen to a slight snore in the background. A slight snore in the background. But that we can live with that, you know. I can talk over it. I have a funny sense of humor. Probably good that he's not on my channel. Not sure he would find it as funny as I do. Well, maybe he would. It's not a bad plan. Yeah, I think so. They are really beautiful, and then when you look at each separate little girl, and I think it's just sweet. It just struck me when I was looking at which one to take today. I was just thinking they're so sweet and happy, and you know, dancing and joyful. So, hello, Joanne. I tried to tag you on the video and on the album with all the beautiful colors that you made, but I haven't been able to. But your colors are so beautiful, and they are both in the album and on the video. I made the video of 2 weeks yesterday. 2 weeks of awesome weirdies, and you are in it. You're in it with your beautiful colored pieces. Nice to see you. I think, you know, this is shaping up good. And Joanne, this one is free while I'm live. It's a perk of being here while I'm live. So you can, there's a link and it's set at 0, so you can get it for free while I'm coloring here live. Afterwards, I'll set it to $1.50, and so it's just a perk of the ones who are actually on the videos that you can get it for free while I'm coloring it. Og jeg skal nok runde det der køkken. So here we go. Here we go. Now I got lost again. No, I didn't. I'm here. Not totally lost. So I'm here. And this is where I'm going to continue with the yellow. So there's going to be yellow here. And I'm going to continue this yellow down the middle here. And I'm also going to take it for the first spin of the dress. So, you know, I'm actually like continuing it all the way down there and all the way down there. So you just know if anyone is following my spiral. I know that the spiral is a bit, I mean, it makes great results, I think. That's why I always use it, but I like that. Where there is a will, there is a weirdie. Always a weirdie. They're so great. It's so much fun. I'm having fun, you know, also doing them because it's sort of like rediscovering what I drew. And it's a nice time to take, you know, to take the time to rediscover and work on with the work that I did before. So I'm enjoying that a lot. It's a great part of this Color a Weirdy Day is that I get to do this, and with you guys, it's fun. So now I just need to. I need to really get the. I need to get some. I think maybe, you know, I'll try to see if I could talk with this style file and see if they want to sponsor a little bit. They already been very nice, so it could be that they would want to sponsor a Weirdy Day. You know, I could, you know, some of the material that I made, they could be able to use also. So it might be feasible. You never know. I mean, you never know until you ask. The hard part for me is to pull myself together and go and suggest it and talk with them and ask them, because it could be pretty funky. So yeah, it's shaping up, and we are on to the dresses. Yeah, it's like little girls in dresses holding hands and dancing around. So they're pretty sweet. It's sort of a happy picture, I think. So yeah, little girls in dresses with the high hair or high hats. I morgen, ikke? Anders, der skulle UPS komme med de sidste proofbøger. Så det kan godt være, at de ringer på, mens jeg er væk, men det er ikke en stor sandsynlighed. De plejer at komme om eftermiddagen, ikke? Men altså, det er bare sådan, at der skal lige lyttes ekstra efter døren, mens jeg er nede med Victoria, ikke? Okay, so I just told my dad that UPS is supposed to be coming tomorrow with the books, with the proofs, and there is a possibility that they can come while I'm going to the school with Victoria, but usually they come in the afternoon, but just that he listen after the door, because I really want to get my hands on the books. And then, you know, I can also make the video where I show you guys the books so you can see them. I'll probably make a separate one for the hard books and one for the spheres, so that we don't get them intermingled. I think it's better to have them separated. So here we're going for the light green, the yellow green as they call it in this one set, yellow green, which I call lime. And then we stay on there for the yellow to develop further our little system here. So I took next to those, and then down on the dress. The arms will come when it's open up to there, then I'll take the arms after that, just to sort of continue it out. Little continuation. So yeah. But it's a good thing that I did wake up. Imagine if I had just slept on. I wouldn't sleep that long, but that was why I was so late in starting today, because I was sleeping. So yeah, then it would be difficult to fall asleep. I'm just hoping that I slept enough that I can stay awake tomorrow and go early to bed tomorrow. You know, like get everything prepared beforehand, so that after coloring the Weirdy, I can actually go to bed and have a chance of really getting up and having slept. But I don't know, maybe it will just be that after I take Victoria to school, I sleep 2-3 hours and then I'll still be okay. So yeah, I'm gonna try and see what goes down, because Thursday I have to pick them up from school, the two little girls, for their play date. It's gonna be funny. I also have to get cleaned out the dining table, because it's full of all those the bead projects that Victoria's been working on. So I need to find that iron. I really have no idea where I put the iron. It's horrible, because I never use an iron. I only use it if I have to iron those pearl things. That's the only time when I take it out and use it. I remember once when I was living in Spain with my ex-husband, his mom was visiting from Denmark, and she comes to me and she says, "Where's your iron, Maria?" I'm like, "What do you mean, iron?" "Yeah, your iron, to iron the shirts and stuff." I say, "I don't iron." And she's like, "But how do you iron my son's shirts?" I say, "I don't iron your son's shirts. He sends them to the dry cleaners. I don't iron anything." "Oh, okay, you don't iron anything?" I said, "No, I don't iron anything. I don't own an iron. I don't use it." There's a story behind why I don't do that, because I was actually, as a teenager, I think actually before I was a teenager, from I was 11 to 14, I was working in a clothing shop as sort of like a helper. So I was sort of like hanging clothes up and doing kind of practical things, unpacking stuff that came, and I ironed everything. I ironed every piece of clothes, every piece in the whole shop before it went out on the shelves. So that means that I ironed, even if it was a jogging pants, I fucking ironed them. So, you know, I did 3 years from 11 to 14 where I pretty much ironed millions of pieces of clothes. So after that, I don't iron. I don't buy clothes that needs to be ironed, and I don't wear clothes that needs to be ironed. And if it does need to be ironed, it just doesn't get ironed with me. It will just have to hang on me the way it is. That's my policy around ironing. And that's because I spent 3 years ironing everything. It was a drag. So I don't iron. And my mother-in-law bought me 2 irons. As a response to the fact that I did not iron, she thought that you cannot have a home without an iron in it. So she had asked her son to take her into town, and she bought a really big, like, steam iron thing, and she bought the ironing table thing, And she also bought like a little travel size iron for me as a present. I'm like, why would you want to give me that when I don't use an iron? But I mean, she had the best of intentions. And I use an iron for the beads. I just have to figure out where it is because it's been a long time since I ironed any beads. So that's my ironing history. Sleep well, Tina. See you all tomorrow and sleep well. Yeah, but I slept all day because I kind of crashed because yesterday was a problem with an alarm going off all night, so I couldn't sleep. So I actually have slept a lot today because I crashed. Because I couldn't sleep at all yesterday. The alarm was still going off when I took Victoria to school this morning. So ironing is a boring thing. And just imagine if you iron that much in your life, you just don't need to iron anything more, except for beads for your daughter. But I don't need to iron clothes. I take ironing free clothes. That is good for me. They're gonna be lovely, these girlies. They're gonna be really cutie girlies. It's also late that my dad was walking through. It's almost 3 o'clock, 3 a.m. here. So he's up late. That probably explains why he sleeps all day, if he's up this late. But I think he said he was feeling better in his shoulder. He's supposed to go to something, therapy or whatever, physio thing on Friday. So he's hoping that on Friday the physiotherapist will say that it's well enough that he can actually, get dressed again, put on clothes, because that means that then he can go on his daily walks. He normally my dad walks, I don't know, 10 to 20 kilometers a day. He's always been very, much in fit. He's a fit. When you look at him, you don't think he's 73. He's a fit old dude. He's not fat. And if you look at what he eats, he should be rolling in fat. But he isn't. And he normally takes these walks every day at a fast pace. That's his routine. And now he hasn't been able to do it for almost 2 months. So I think that's probably getting to him. And normally he always take Victoria to school in the morning because, I work late with the art. And it's better for me to sleep there. It sort of fits better with my routine and with everything I do. Then it fits really well that he could get up with her and go to school, and it was a good system. But since his shoulder has been hurt, he hasn't been really able to do that because he can't get up and he can't put on the clothes and stuff, he says. And that's, that changed the routine here, which is that's one of the things that's messing up my sleep schedule, because I have to sort of be up at 6:30 with Victoria and take her to school and do the breakfast and all that. And I find that works best if I actually don't sleep. because if I do go to sleep at, let's say, 2 o'clock, normally I can get everything timed so that I'm finished around 2:30. Tonight not, because I started so late, and because I'm not sleepy, because I slept all day. So tonight there's definitely not, I'm not going to be able to fall asleep when you slept that long. But I think it was a combination of that alarm being on from 10 o'clock in the evening till 8 a.m. That's like really stressing, and the fever and the cold and everything. So I just totally crashed out. So, today's definitely not going to be a sleeping day. So, yeah. But before, we had a very good routine here, because my dad is also much nicer in the morning than I am. So, it was a really nice and quiet, mornings for them to just, get up and, uh, have a breakfast and everything, sort of relaxed. But hopefully, if everything goes well on Friday, maybe he will be able to do it again, and then we can get into a normal routine. But otherwise, I have to sort of consider what I'm gonna do in order to fit my routine in. If I'm just gonna sleep while Victoria is in school. So far, that seems to have worked the best for me, according to my own sleep schedule. I am very well with staying awake, and then I can also have more. I can make a nicer breakfast, and we can sit down and eat and have a nicer time in the morning. If I haven't just gotten out of bed and I'm stressed about getting out of bed, so in that way, it works well that I'm awake. And then after I take her to school, I sleep until I have to pick her up from school. And then, has kind of worked. Last week it worked really well. So so far that is what I find that works for me, where I can still get everything done and then be awake with her when she's here, and still get everything else done that I have to do, because since you guys are not sitting in Denmark, you don't have the same time zone as I do, then it would be useless if I was making the videos at 12 a.m. here, or 12, like noon or something here. There would be nobody to watch them. So in that way, I have to sort of put on clothes. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know, Julie. Yeah, get dressed. Get dressed, in the mornings. Victoria does everything herself. The day, before she goes to sleep, she plans what she's gonna wear the next day, and she puts it out so that it's ready. She's done that since she was, she wasn't very old when she started doing that, because she's kind of, she's got her own mind set on what she wants to wear. Nobody's gonna tell her to. So she will she will find the clothes that she wants to wear to school, and the combination and everything, and she'll put that out, and she'll prepare her school bag, and she has total control over that. I have no idea. I don't know. She's got control of everything according to her school stuff. And since the teacher says that she's doing so well, then I have no doubt that she has full control of it. She has total. There's nothing, like the other kids. They have homework. Victoria never has homework, because she's ahead with all the books. She's like one book ahead of everyone. So she doesn't have homework because she does everything there. When they give her an assignment, she will do that and the 20 next ones in the time that the other ones do half of it. And then, you know, she has control of her pencils, and you know, the other parents are complaining that there's missing pencils from the kids, and that they're losing stuff. Victoria's never lost anything, and she's never even asked me to buy pencils. So I guess she's just taking care of the pencils that she has had from the beginning, because now she's been in school 3 years and she doesn't have a problem. She's not missing anything. So in that way, you know, Victoria has a very good overview of everything. She knows when she has the gym classes, you know, then she will pack the gym things the day before. I don't know. She's got that all figured out. So in that respect, for her, the morning is quite easy because everything is already prepared. All I have to do in the evening before is that I make her a lunchbox. She can't do that herself because then there would be nothing in it. Absolutely nothing in it. So I do the lunchbox. I put it in the fridge, and then she will take it in the morning and put it in her bag. And so when my dad takes her, the only thing he really has to do is he has to go to the bathroom and brush his teeth and put on clothes, because the rest she takes care of herself. I know they do have breakfast together because he likes to also sit down and have a breakfast, so they do that. But she's got she's what's called, she's cool. She's one of those people who have everything under control, which is nice, because I'm definitely not. I'll forget half of the stuff that I needed to remember, but then she will have it, you know, so that's pretty cool. She's a cool kid like that. So now when the other moms, they talk about, oh, and you have to do this and that, and I'm like, what? You have to do that? Victoria takes care of that herself, you know. I don't have anything to do with that, you know. So I think, yeah, I'm lucky in that way, that she's just a very easy person who has a good routines. Yeah, put on clothes, exactly. Oh no, she has. But usually I start with the which videos. The videos I'm doing now. Usually I start. Well, today my video was almost 11:15 in my time in the evening when I started the first video. No, I'm 6 hours earlier, I think. When it's, no, yeah, I'm 6 hours later. So when it's like 10 o'clock here, it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon at your place. It's 3 a.m. here now. Yes, exactly. So there's a huge time difference. She's totally and independent, really independent. But she's not independent, you know. She's independent of practical things because she can take care of that herself, and always has been. And I think that is a great thing that she has that ability, because it shows that she'll be able to do that later in life too. So I think that's a good thing. She's not overly pampered, or, you know, I mean, she can take responsibility for her own stuff. And that's not because I've spent time teaching her. She's just been like that always. Well, I think she's been like that. I think when she just left the diaper at first, there was an incident where I forgot to bring a diaper in my handbag. I also forgot that thing about extra underwear and pantyhose, because I didn't think about it. That accidents happen, you know. I didn't. Yeah, that's me. I didn't think about that. And she peed her pants uh, out, and I didn't have anything. I didn't have anything to change it with, and that was a very unfortunate mistake. We did get it fixed and everything that was okay. Um, but she was, I think she was like, what, 3.5, 4 almost, when that happened. And after that, she was just like, well, you know, I'm just going to make my own bag when we go out. And she had her own little handbag. I bought her a really nice one. And then she would put on extra underpants, extra pantyhose, and extra, you know, she would have the wet napkins and everything in her little bag. And that was it. So I think, you know, she was just like, at that point, she realized that maybe her mom doesn't think of everything, because she forgets nose, you know, to blow your nose with. She doesn't take tissues. So I think, like, you know, it started there probably, as she became independent. Yeah, it's 3 a.m. here right now. It's 3 a.m. here. So, you know, actually when I start, it's still a little bit too early. I mean, the nicest thing would be if I start when everybody's sort of home from work and has had their dinner. But that would be so late for me, so that's not really doable. So I'm trying to adjust, you know, because there's no reason for me to do a video when there's nobody to have video with, you know. So I sort of have to adjust the timing and to that. But I've always been a night person. I always also worked nights, so I've never been a day person to begin with. So it's not like a big difference for me, because I've always been awake at these times, because that's where I feel the most creative and where I can think, because there's not a lot of clutter in the air. I don't feel so stressed in the night, and I'm much more focused. So for me, nighttime has always been the best time for work. And I sleep way better when it's light. So there's some things that also suits me very well in that routine, because I've always had that pattern. I've always been a night person to begin with. So in that way, it fits. Oh, they're gonna be so lovely. I love how they're shaping up, these little girlies. So yeah, and I would say that 95% of my audience are US based. So then I have to sort of work in that the timing fits a little bit. I mean, I can never work in that the timing fits for everyone, but if I start a video around 10 my time, or 10 or 11 my time, then, you know, it's kind of fits with the people in Europe can also just, you know, at least the late birds in Europe can see it. But I don't. It's yeah. So it's a difficult thing to find the right schedule. What time I start? Today I started at 11. Yesterday it was 9:30. So it actually it's different. I can't. like guarantee the specific time. I'm always going to try to hit for between 9:30 my time and 11 my time, between those hours, because it sort of depends on when I get Victoria to bed and when I finish up everything else to also be able to go on. So, but mainly I would say that most of the days is around 10 my time, 10:30. I would say that that's probably, oops. Why that's funny. Some of these, I'm noticing something with the ones with the brushes, that they seem to be leaky. Well, you know, on my fingers, or you know, I'm not sure if it's because I'm not hitting the cap right, or if it's something I have to look into. But some of them do seem to be leaking on me. I mean, it's not a lot. I don't have a lot. It's not like excessive. But now I've used them for a while, because when I started with this one, because the ones that were mine were not in these set. This set is the one, the two sets is the ones that I got from Viking, from Style 5. And mine, they're in a box. The ones that I had before, my own collection of them. But I'm noticing it with the brush ones, because the brush ones I've never had. I always had just the black ones, this ones with the felt. And I'm noticing some of the brush ones, and I'm thinking you can see here, it's like the ink. And that's with the brush ones. So that's an interesting thing that I would mention to them, because it's today that it's starting. When you follow, you get the notice. Yeah, you get the note. There's a difference between liking the page and following the page, I found out. I think when you follow the page, but you also have to make sure that you have notifications turned on, then you get a notification. I mean, I wish I could say that at this hour every day I go on, but that's just impossible, because you never really know what happens, and I don't like to say something exact if I can't keep it. I would rather be inexact and be able to keep my word than say I go on at this time and then not be able to keep it. I really hate to say a time and not be able to keep it. That's sort of a pet thing of mine. I hate when people are late or don't keep their appointments. So that's why I don't like to be too specific. I mean, it's within a 2-hour interval. And I know the 2 hours is quite a lot. But, you know, I feel if I get more, if I, for instance, say every day at 10 my time, I'm on, then I would feel horrible if I couldn't make it. So I prefer to say, you know, the earliest, if I really have to finish early, like for instance, if my boyfriend's coming by after work and he gets off work at 11, then I have to be on at 9 or 9:30 my time, because I need 1.5, 2 hours, maybe 2.5 hours to do the full video. It depends how big the picture is, of course, but that's not something that, you know, the order of the weirdies is made, so I can't just like change up and take one that might be faster to do or something. So that's sort of made, so I sort of have to time when I start from that. And then I have another thing that I don't want to rush, you know. I don't want to sit and rush with the coloring it. I want to have it it to be that enjoyable time. It's not going to be something where I'm sitting rushing to get through to finish. So then I'd rather, then if I know that he's going to be coming after work, then like last time he could sit and chat with my dad until I was finished with the video. And if he couldn't have sit and chat with my dad, he could have sit next to me and watch me color, and that would be that. But I try to aim to be close to finishing when he comes, so that we can also spend a little time together, because when he comes after work, then he's been to work all day and he might be tired or something, and then maybe he want to sit and talk a little bit. So then it might be a little bit disappointing if he comes and I have to still be on for 2 hours or something like that. So if it's like that, then I try to time it. And then other times, then there might be a really good movie and I'm hanging out on the couch. For instance, in the weekends, Victoria stays up later, we watch X Factor, and then we're sitting on the couch watching that together, and then I get on later because I don't have to get up as early, and then I get on a little bit later because I'm doing stuff with her in the weekend. So it's sort of always, but yeah. If it's early, it's 9:30 my time. If it's late, it's 11 o'clock my time. Today it was 11:15 almost. So yeah, between that, that's as close as I can get to it. No. Yeah, unfortunately, life happens. But usually, well, you can say that I'm pretty consistent in that I'm almost always home. I rarely go anywhere. But of course, there's also going to be a day where, for instance, my bestie wants to come by and see me. We haven't seen each other for a while, or something like that. That happens. It doesn't happen a lot in my life, but it does happen sometimes. So yeah, there's that. But I try to stay as consistent as I can, and I really enjoy these evenings. So that's a good thing. And then there's all the background afterwards, all the work that I need to do afterwards, like just downloading the day's live video. That takes a couple of hours. Yeah, it takes a couple of hours to download the live video. And then after I've downloaded that live video, I have to upload it to YouTube. That does not take as long, and might take 20-30 minutes. But then now we're talking 2.5 hours if it didn't cut off while it was downloading. See? And then once it's uploaded to YouTube, I download it again to my own computer from YouTube, because if I go in and make the speed movie from the one I downloaded from Facebook, it doesn't work. It won't upload again. It's a stupid thing. But that's the way I finally worked out how I can get it to work. And then so I download the whole long live video again to my own from YouTube, and then I go into iMovie and make the speed version. Yeah, and then once the speed version is made of the day's video, I have to upload that to YouTube. And once that is uploaded to YouTube, I have to put the music on. Yeah. I'm telling you, this is a tedious, very tedious process. So, you know, and that takes another time, you know, like, because it takes a long time to put the music on, to render it. So once the music is on the speed version on YouTube, then if I'm lucky that the music is accepted, I can download the YouTube video speed version to my own computer again, and then I can upload the speed version to Facebook. So you can see that's like 4 or 5 hours of work, where I of course can also work on other things while I do it. While I do that, I also, like, for instance, make my blog for Steam. I scan the day's picture and do some other little things while I'm waiting for all this to be possible. So that's just a part of what goes on in the background. So you know, I might be, you know, like, if I'm doing like 2.5, 3 hours video every day, and some days it will be 5 because I'm doing 2 videos, and but then I'm probably also doing 5, 6 hours of video work. So, and then I'm, yeah, cooking and drawing and all the other stuff too. So altogether, I think my days, I'm probably working 16 to 18 hours. Yeah, that's probably like a nice assessment of what goes into. I would say that out of those 16 to 18 hours, a lot of it is based around all the videos stuff, and there's the line. It's very time consuming. So there's a lot that goes into all the parts of it, and those things can't be seen, you know. I mean, when you see the video, the speed video that takes, you know, if I made a video that takes 2.5 hours, and the speed video takes 2 minutes and 30 seconds, then everything that went into doing that speed video is maybe the 2.5 hours that the original movie took, but then there's 6 hours of video work in between before it actually gets to that point. So there's a lot of things that is behind the scenes that nobody really sees, and that you don't really think about because of the steps involved in getting it done are tedious and time consuming. Whereas, you know, if I could do that in a fewer steps, it would be a lot easier. And that's why I'm contemplating buying some software that can facilitate that I can show live on both YouTube and Facebook at the same time. But the thing is, then I would also have to figure out how that software worked and learn that, which is a new system again. And I'm thinking, like, maybe it's just easier, you know, to not have to, I don't know, maybe at some point. But there's a lot, because then there's also, yeah, then I update the, you know, when I've made, you know, then I put up the new one, I put up a new banner, but those banners has to be created, the promotion pics for pay have to be created. There's a lot of things that are behind it that are very time consuming that people don't see. Well, you see them, but you don't know that they take time to do. And that's the kind of things that I also have to finish in order to keep up with being ready every day. Now I can say that, you know, like the pictures and everything, I prepared everything for the Weirdies for the first 3 months of the promotional pictures, the Etsy files, the banners and everything. So now soon I will have to prepare for the next 3 so that I already have it ready, so that I don't have to sit and do it last minute, because the worst thing is doing things last minute. And because I have so much that is like a daily routine after the daily live video, then it's good to be on front of what I can be on front on. So there's quite a lot of boring things, where the most fun thing is actually just to do the video and have fun with it. And then there's, you know, like that I try to do that weekly catch up on everything. Every day I look for all your pictures. I save them to my computer. I have folders with your names. And then I save the colored picture you do in the folder with your name, so that I can do that video in a week, so that I can put together the video, so I can put it on the album on my page, your colors. And so there's a lot of things that go in there that just takes time. So I'm happy that you appreciate it. I just wanted to explain a little bit, because some people may think, oh, but you do the live video, then you can just go to bed. No, I can't just, you know, that I have to prepare everything. For instance, today, because I crashed, I didn't put up the daily blog on my blog about yesterday's coloring. I'm a day late with that because I crashed. So there's some things where I have to do those right away, because this is a daily thing. Whereas normally, before, I would just make my videos and put them up when I was ready to put them up, so I could make the video a month in advance and put it up. But it's not the same as doing a live video. A live video, all the other video parts of it, you have to sort of do right after, so that you keep up with that live momentum. It doesn't work if I put up a speed version of the live video 2 weeks later. Besides, then I would be late with everything. So I sort of have to keep up with those new daily routines. So yeah, that's sort of a part of what the work that goes into being able to do this in a way where it also looks good, you know. You can share my video and make playlists and everything. I share all the videos to YouTube, but I have to upload them in order to you know, I have to download and upload and download and upload. But sharing, if it's YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, is always good, because that always helps. But there's one thing about sharing. If you really want to be very, very safe, do not copy paste. Write something in there yourself that is different for each post. Leave 5 minutes between a post. That's really important, because this is a Facebook prison thing. Is it 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4? I'm done. This is looking pretty good, this, huh? But you know, the sharing is always, I mean, also like if you've colored, if you share to other colored color groups or something like that, and just mention the name, then that's perfect. That's really perfect. Or if you bought one of my books on Amazon or Etsy or whatever, I mean, I don't know in Payhip if you can leave reviews in Payhip. I never really noticed that. I mean, I don't look on reviews. I don't look on them. But, you know, if you have bought a physical book on Amazon, then a review would really be well appreciated. or that you put up some pictures of what you colored, or something like that, because that really means a lot on Amazon. But that is important. But you can always share, and if you have your own YouTube channel, you can always, you know, make a watch list, a to-see list where you add the videos or something like that, and then that's sharing in a way too. I just try to stay updated with everything, and I have to get into, because it's a new routine for me to do live videos and to be here, and I'm enjoying it a lot, so it's a good thing. But there's a lot of elements, but that's probably also me being slightly OCD about it, you know, that I need to get the things done in the right order, and because that's the way that I am. But I like to do things as nicely as I can. So I like, you know, the speed videos, because the live videos is you guys who are here. But the speed videos may catch more guys who want to be here with us, because new people who are joining us will not be looking at 2 hours and 50 minutes live coloring, where I'm talking with you guys and they're not really involved and they don't know what's going on and they don't know us yet. But if they see the speed video, they will think, oh, that looks kind of interesting, maybe I'll try it. And then maybe they will join us for a live video and find out that we have a great time and we have a good conversations and we get into all kinds of subjects and walks of life. It's not a boring old time. It's interesting. So, you know, the speed videos in that respect are really important in order to attract new people to join us. Now I sort of have to, I was here. Yeah, that was the blue, and now it's the greenie. Well, not the greenie, it's a mint greenie. So yeah, that's a sort of like, I think the speed videos are very important, and I would love if you guys would share them, but maybe share them from YouTube. I do put them on the Facebook as well. And I do have an album on Color WeirdiDala where I try to put up the new speed video, so that you have an album where you can go and check them out and share them from. But I also have them on YouTube. I made a challenge, a playlist called Color WeirdiDala. I'll try to hit it up, because sharing it from there might be easier. But I'm just, I just try to cover all bases. But because of all this Facebook prison and stuff, I find it difficult to share, because I'm scared that, you know, because I know that if you've been in Facebook prison a few times, there comes a time where they think, you know, they might consider just like, you know, saying, well, that's it, you've done your 3 strikes and you're gone. Well, it's not 3 strikes, but you know what I mean. I don't want them to sort of exclude me from Facebook just because I shared too much or did something that they think is wrong. I mean, I could understand if I was drawing with my tits or something, but I'm not. But it's because now it's not people reviewing the posts anymore. It's algorithms. I mean, computer algorithms. I know that that's a bit difficult to understand. So that means that an algorithm will pick up if somebody shares too fast. But I obviously am very effective, so I try to share as fast as I can, which is not good. I have to share once, and I have to write it myself. I cannot copy paste. Then I have to wait 5 minutes, and then I can share it again. And I mean, it becomes, you know, when you think about all the other hours that go into doing everything, then it becomes a very, you know, I just don't have time for I try to do everything, but you know, to be able to sit and share to all groups where I wait 5 minutes in between each time and I don't copy paste, I have to write it, I would break my fingers and I would not have time to do anything else and get drawing and get, you know, so there's some things where this thing about the algorithms, you know, saying if you are doing it too much or not is not so good. I mean, it's great to avoid spam, but they're also cutting off people who are not really spamming, because when I post in Adult Coloring Worldwide or coloring books for adults, I'm posting to people who are interested in getting free pages, who are interested in seeing my things, and you know, I'm posting to an audience that is within a target group that fits with what I'm doing. But the algorithms don't see that. They see it as that I'm posting too much or something. Or maybe, you know, like last time, really, it wasn't because of me posting too much or too often, because I was hardly posting. I was only posting to 2 groups a day, and so I wasn't doing anything. Last time it seemed like somebody reported me because they might be annoyed that I'm doing good, or that, you know, that I'm getting more attention or something. There's also a lot of stupidity going on with people being small-minded, and, you know, this is just stupid. But you never know, because you don't get any explanation from Facebook. They don't like say, oh, this time you were in Facebook prison because some people reported you, or this time you were in Facebook prison because you shared too fast too many places. So you don't get an explanation of what happened, which makes it very difficult to determine what you can do to avoid doing it again. So, oh, that's so nice. That's awesome, Heather. I mean, the speed videos is what will probably be the most likely thing that will get more people to join, because the live videos is our interaction, and that will only be fun once people do join. But they have to be enticed to join, and they don't get, I mean, people don't get enticed to watch 2.5 hours of coloring. But they do get enticed by the speed version, and they think, oh, that looks funny or interesting or something like that, you know. So in that way, and they do get enticed if they jump in on a live video when we have shared the live video, and they might jump in and they think, oh, this is interesting, I'm finding out something new, or this is funny, this looks funny. And the bigger part of it is that everybody can participate, because I want everybody to be able to participate. That's why I put them up for free. If I had made this that everybody have to pay for each page, you know, then that would not be, that's not my idea of a WeirdiDala. My idea of WeirdiDala is to have fun. And that is only fun if it's feasible for everyone. I don't want anybody to sit and say, yeah, but I can't afford to buy your books. No, that's why I put them at the 0+. And then even the ones who can't afford can also get in. That's the idea. And that's why I think that maybe, you know, if I talk with Stylefy, maybe they would sponsor me, because they know that it's not about selling a book, because I'm giving it away. I'm actually, you know, like if everybody follows Color WeirdiDala, I'm giving away 12 books, because there is 12 books of a Weirdi, you know, there's 12 volumes, 1 for each month. And I'm putting them all up on the pay hip, And yes, I will, once we're done with the January, I will delete the ones from January. I'll make a bonus version where you get the whole book and all my colored ones. And then if there's anybody who's interested in getting the PDFs of my colored ones, they can buy that one. But in a principle, to participate every day, you can get that drawing of the day for free. So there is a possibility of that. So yeah, that was just my big rant on what I'm doing. Explanation of a bit of background. Because I feel like, like both my dad and my boyfriend, they think that it's just that I sit on the computer a lot. They're like, oh, you're on Facebook a lot. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm not on Facebook a lot. Yeah, I'm on Facebook a lot because everything I do is on Facebook and YouTube. But I'm like working, for Christ's sake. I'm like making videos, I'm uploading, I'm downloading, I'm doing a lot. I'm not just like sitting and chatting or something. And that seems to be like people's general general idea of what I'm doing. They just think that I'm on Facebook a lot. Yeah, I am, because I'm drawing live. I'm uploading videos. I'm editing videos. So yeah, I'm on Facebook a lot. My art is on Facebook a lot, which means that I'm on Facebook a lot, and I think that concept is very difficult for some people to grasp, especially for your close ones, because they're like, oh, but you could just like close your computer and do something else. Okay, but this is like what I do. And that's hard for them to understand and grasp the whole concept. Exactly. I mean, that was also another thing about this, to work with different materials. I know that I'm holding off with colored pencils a lot. And that's mainly because of my fingers, because I'm so scared that I'm going to hurt the fingers. Because if I do that, then I'll be in braces. So, I have to. I mean, maybe Mr. Chicken, he's not that big. He might be able to do colored pencils on him. It's just, there's several reasons for my marker mania. First of all, because I just love markers. And second of all, there's this intimidation of hurting my hands with the colored pencils, which I really don't want, because I don't want to have them in braces again. Because then I can't do nothing. And it's like, so I just want to, I do my best every day with everything that I do. And I just wanted you guys to know a little bit about all that. There's a lot of work that goes on behind that I have to do daily in order to keep up with color WeirdiDala that I'm not really used to doing. Well, I'm used to making videos, but not at this pace. It's a new pace. So I'm gonna have to excuse myself because I have to pee. I'll be back in a second. So I'm back. Yeah, so this is not like, I'm not like complaining about my workload. Please don't think that, because the best decision I ever made was to make Color Weirdia Day. But the best decision, I think, started with making the epic Christmas giveaway, because that gave me the best December that I can remember in years. And my December was so happy, and it passed so fast, and it was just such a happy month to be able to give away and have that great time, interact with others. I didn't feel alone one day in December, because I was with you guys every day. And I think, that helped my December become a really, really great December. That I'm so happy that I did that. And I'm extremely happy that I made Color Weirdia Day, because it gives me a lot back, because I like the interaction. I love these moments where I'm coloring with you guys. If I didn't, then I wouldn't do it. I mean, if I thought it was awful, or it was a tedious task or something, I would not do it at all, because then it wouldn't be enjoyable and there would be no reason to do it. So when I'm talking about all this tedious, boring work in the background, it's just to make you understand that no, I can't just go to bed, or I can't just go to sleep, because I have to get these things done. And once they're done, then I can rest. Then I can sort of sleep and relax. So, and I'm trying to make others understand that in my life, that it's not as simple as they think, because this is my life. I mean, I love my art. I love working with art. But if you want to be serious with it, you also have to spend time and energy and money on it. And that's what a lot of people don't understand, which I have to argue with them, or, or reason, which I'm really sick of reasoning with people who don't understand it, because you guys know what it means to you. I know what it means to you. I know what it means to me. And that should be all that matters. So I think, once everybody understands that around me, it'll be easier. The only one who really grasps the concept is Victoria. But she's also my greatest fan, so of course she grasped it. She's my daughter, But everybody else is like, well, why do you do that? And why do you do that? And I said, because it gives me something back. But why do you want to sit and color for 2 hours with people you don't know? And I said, because it gives me something back that you guys are not giving me. I have a great time. I have a good time. I have a good time interacting, and it's my social moment. I spent, I don't know how many years not talking at all. And yeah, exactly, now I do what I love. And then you have to sort of, you have to be, if you also want to make what you love your living, then you have to submerge in it. And that's why, yeah, I spend also the time to make a merchandise, and I do this, I make new books, and I create a lot, but that's my life for me. And that's where I think some of my close people, I don't have a lot of close people, but they don't really get it. They don't get the whole package, that it's all intertwined, and it's what I'm doing with doing Color Weirdia Day is actually making me feel more inclined to do my art and more enthusiastic about it, because I'm getting a feedback and I'm working together with you guys. In some way, this is a collaboration, because it is a collaboration when I see your finished pieces, then you are collaborating with me on those. It's like joint pieces, because yeah, I did the drawing, but you invented how your weirdy is. So in that way, it's an exchange, and a great exchange with a great inspiration. So yeah, that's kind of some of the things that I think about a lot, and I'm happy that I did it. I have absolutely no regrets or second thoughts to how I make my decisions, and I do know that. I mean, but I think also it's also because people are a little bit intimidated, you know. Um, Maybe, my boyfriend thinks, oh, she will never have time to see me if she's going to be doing live videos every day. She doesn't have time for me, uh, and I can see how he feels that may interact slightly, but it will work out. It's not gonna be an issue, and if it is, then it will be his issue, not mine, because I'm doing what I love and what I always loved, and I did that 20 years before I met him, and I'll probably be doing it 20 years after. So, and I'm sure at some point everybody will understand that this is just what I do. At some point, and then they'll stop talking me about why I don't sleep, or why I stay up late, or sleep in the morning instead of in the night. I mean, not everybody was designed to sleep in the night. And the funny thing is, nobody would be saying that if I was a night nurse or a doctor who had a night shifts, or if I was a fireman or policeman who had night shifts. Nobody would ever say anything about it. But because I'm an artist, then they think that I'm lazy because I sleep in the day. It's like, it's so strange. And then I get that sort of label. Oh yeah, but you sleep in the daytime, you should really, wake up and experience life. And I'm like, I work 16 to 18 hours a day. You work what, 7 hours a day, 5 days a week? I work 16 to 18 hours a day every fucking day. And I've been doing that for years and years. So don't tell me what work is. It's like, it's crazy when people tell me that, because I have people who tell me that. And I'm just like appalled, because they just don't get it. It's funny, because there would be no issue if I was a firefighter, a policeman, or a nurse or doctor. Then everybody would be very understanding. But because I'm an artist, then they think that I don't do anything. They think I just draw and have fun. Well, I do draw and have fun, and I color and have fun, but I also work a lot. So that's sort of my artistic rant of the day. Hope you didn't get tired of that. I'm happy that you feel like that, Kat, because I'm happy. That is one of the things that gives what I do a real purpose, because I know that some of you guys really appreciate that I'm here. Exactly. And I feel that I have with what I started doing, I actually feel that what I do has a real purpose. And I do feel that I'm helping others. I know that it can be difficult for some to see how I'm helping others by sitting coloring live, but I know that I am, because I get a feedback, I get a response on it. So I do know that it is helping other people and you guys. So in that respect, I have come to a place where my art actually has a real purpose, where I see that what I do can give other people something back. And I think that that's the most important part. And that's the whole reasoning for the epic giveaway, because I was thinking with the epic, I was just thinking there's so many people who sit in December who don't have anywhere to go, who don't get invited to anything, like me. Just like me, I was thinking out of my own situation. I do have Victoria, but we don't get invited anywhere. We don't have anyone. And I thought there's so many others just like that that are sitting and having a lousy fucking December, because the people that they did talk to, they're busy with their families and all that. So why not do something special for that month to make it special and hope that others will find it special too? And I could see immediately that I had a great response on it. So, and for myself, personally, it was a great experience. So in that respect, I finally feel that things do have a purpose. And I've gotten beautiful response from a lot of people. There's that's a personal achievement in some way that I can feel proud of, and I can remember both as getting something myself, something very deep, and being able to give to others. So you know that sort of covers a lot of bases of personal satisfaction in your work life. And then you got people who say, yeah, but when you're gonna start making some real money? Well, you know, it's not about real money. You know, of course you need to live and everything, but I'm managing. So it's not about that. I mean, of course, it's always nice to make money, but it's not all about that. It's about also feeling that you have a purpose and that what you do has a purpose. So yeah, that's why I continue to also give away a lot of stuff, because I feel that that has a purpose too. So yeah, that's sort of, okay, I'll stop ranting. I think you all got it. There's none of you who think I'm totally crazy. It's just some people in my life obviously think that I'm a total whack case. And you know, it's okay, because they're so normal that I would be embarrassed with them. It would be really boring, you know. So, oh, Ross. Hi, Yvonne. Nice to see you. Exactly. Just let go and sleep when it fits you. Thank you, Yvonne. And I think now I'm finally using that talent, Patricia, to actually bring something to others. Which, you know, yeah, I was bringing something before, but not as much as I am now. So I'm thinking that I'm moved on to a next stage in my artistic life, which I think is an important step, you know, because now I feel that I'm actually also having a purpose, you know, like when I do the videos and all that, it does have a purpose. It does help someone. And what I always said is, if it's good for one person, then I'm happy. It doesn't take more than that. So, and I see that it's good for more than one. So, in that way, I'm very pleased with what I've achieved so far. And I think if you just go with how you feel and what you feel strongly about, then the rest will also come. You just have to be, you know, continue and work and do your best at what you're best at. And take your time. I mean, I would rather do something that I love and work hard and have very little than I would do something that I hated and not be able to be the same mom that I am. So, I mean, there's kind of priorities going on with what you want to do. And I think that even if you live with very little money, as long as you just can make it, you know, like, you know, pay the bills and eat, you can still have a great time if you have more time together. And what I do have is that my awake time is active time with my daughter, you know, because I make videos when my daughter's sleeping. I sleep when my daughter's in school. So that means I'm awake when she's awake. So I'm not feeling, you know, like, so I'm actually spending good quality time with her when she's there. Whereas I see other people who are doing routines, they are coming with the kids at 6 a.m. or 5 a.m. I think 5:30 is the earliest you can come to the. There's like a pre and after school thing, institution, where the kids can go if the parents have to go early to work. And I see kids that they go there at 6 a.m. and they are picked up now they close at 5 actually, which is very difficult for some parents because they don't get off work that early, which I also think is unfair. I think the parents should have more time with their children. I think that's important for the children. But yeah, I see these kids, they come at 6 o'clock to the morning thing before school because school starts at 8. So they have their breakfast there and everything. And then they go to school. And then they go to the after. So their day in the institution starts at 6. But then you have to think they were probably up an hour earlier in order to make it there. So that they started at 5. And then they get picked up at 5 in the afternoon. So that's like from 5 a.m. to 5 in the afternoon. They have a longer work day than the parents do. They have a longer work. That makes me so sad. You start in the institution at 6 a.m. You get picked up at 5 p.m. It's like 11 hours. That's 11 hours. And then when you get picked up, your parents are stressed because they just got off work. So on the way home, you have to go to the supermarket and buy something for dinner. When you get home, it's a bath, dinner, and bed. And then the routine starts again. At 5 a.m. again. So, you know, for me, I get up at 6:30 if I get up, if I'm not already awake. If I'm already awake, then I'll already be preparing, then I'll have showered and everything before 6:30. And then at 6:30, I start to prepare breakfast. And then I get my daughter up and we have breakfast at 7. And I take her to school, so she's in school at 8. And then if it's not me, then it's my dad that picks her up at 2 o'clock. And if she wants to go to the after, if she wants to go and play with the other kids in the after, then she can decide to go to play with the other kids. If she feels like it. Because sometimes you might not feel like it. Sometimes you might just want to come home. Mainly she does actually like to be with others also. But I would never, like if she's picked up from the after, then she's picked up at 4 o'clock or something like that. So she's in school from 8 o'clock to 2, and then in the after for a couple of hours too. So she doesn't have those long days. So we have a relaxed time when she comes home. We do the shopping quiet together. We do the cooking, we eat, we sit down and chill out together. So I think in that way, her routine is way less stressed than the other kids. Maybe the other kids' parents have a lot more money because they're also 2, but they don't have the same time with the kids. So I think in that way, even that I might not have a fortune or cannot maybe buy everything, then she gets everything of me because I have these priorities where she's in the center in a way. My art is in the center, but she's also in the center. So I don't think that's a bad thing. I think I can give her values that are more important than having Adidas training shoes, And hey, she has Adidas clothes anyways, because my ex-husband comes with the leftovers from his new girlfriend. So then we just get them there. So she does still have the fancy shit. We just don't go and buy it. We get it. And I mean, I don't think that the most important thing is to show children that you can afford to buy the most expensive things. I think the most important thing is to show them that even that you can't afford to buy the most expensive things, you can still have a great time together. Maria can beat. I'm not therapy. I need therapy. No uniforms required. So she wears normal clothes in school. Actually, she does not wear normal clothes because she never chooses anything normal when she chooses her clothes. She wears. She has her own distinct style, so she will put her clothes together in a really weird way. She does not look like any of the other girls. Sometimes she looks like the boys with her football clothes because she kind of collects football clothes, especially Barca, because her dad is a big fan of Barca. And of course, anything that her dad is, because he's so far away and she sees him so little and talks to him so little, then it's very important for her that she sort of is in on what he feels, and he feels football. So so in that respect, Victoria is different. But now, after she got the last batch of clothes that my ex came by with, she's been very, very, very cool in her clothes. Very cool, and she's extremely happy because it's all sporting clothes. And she really likes the sporting clothes. So she's a very, very cool and elegant now. But she's also the kind of kid, like if it's a Halloween, she don't want to get dressed up. No, I don't want to get dressed up. And if she wants to get dressed up, she want to be the Black Panther because she's Victoria Pantera. And the Black Panther is quite easy because it's just black leggings and a black black t-shirts. He says, it's easy because then you don't have to buy anything, Mom. And she's right about that. And she does enjoy that. So she doesn't, she's the kind of person who will come to the carnival not dressed up, but she will come to the other functions totally dressed up without having to. She's like a weirdie. She's a weirdie. My daughter's a weirdie. So, yeah, so, but you know, I'm happy that I can do that because I think that the first years of a child's life are the formative years. So the most important years to spend with them are at least until they're 5, 6. But my daughter's 8 and I'm still spending a lot of time with her. So I think that is a great exchange to make for if I had a day job, I wouldn't be able to spend the same time, and we wouldn't have that much more money. I mean, it wouldn't be like that we would have that much more. It would be very little more. So in that respect, I mean, the time you have with your kids when they're small, it's priceless. And I think the minute that states and governments start realizing how important that time is for how that child grows up and acts in the future, that's when we start getting a real society back. Because right now, well, for instance, in my countries, families are very, very pressed for money and especially for time. Because parents are both expected to have careers and be working and making money to make ends meet. And that leaves the children being raised by institutions. And I don't think that's healthy. That's my honest opinion. I think it's healthy that they are social and interacting with other children. But I don't think that it is healthy that the raising part is sort of left up to institutions because the parents only really have the fucking dinner time with the kids. They don't even have the breakfast time, you know, because they leave them at the institution at 6 a.m. and they have the breakfast there. So they only like have the dinner. And that's a hurried one because I have to go to bed so the parents can have alone time. I mean, we even have people here in Denmark who take vacation as couples without their kids because they need to spend time together because they're so busy in their everyday life. So as a couple, they need, you know, a vacation together alone. And then the kids have to go to like a colony or, yeah. I think that's kind of scary. I mean, why get kids in the first place if you don't can be with them and raise them and teach them everything, right from wrong? I mean, I am I'm probably old-fashioned, maybe I'm extremely old-fashioned in the way that I see that. I just see that the kids that I see that are teenagers right now are very, very much in search for attention, and they don't give a shit if it's a positive or negative attention, just as long as they get attention. And that's a very clear indication that their life had been spent growing up in an institution where you need to get the teacher or the pedagogue's attention, And mainly the easiest way to get that attention is to do something negative. And I feel I see that a lot. Because these kids are hurt by the fact that the parents don't get the due time that they actually need with their kids to raise them. And the more time you have with them, the more you can influence them on their behavior and their view of others and their interaction, everything. And I don't think that any institution can do that better than parents who care. I mean, of course, parents who don't give a shit, they cannot do anything good. But we're not talking about that. We're just talking generally. You know, children need time with their parents. They don't need time in institutions. You know, it's good that they go to school. It's good that they interact with other people. It's A-okay. But they need time with their family. They need time to feel a part of something. Otherwise, they're detached. If they just get like a half an hour supper on a rush, and there's a quick shower, and then off to bed and off to next institution, you know, then they don't get that personal attachment and what they really need. So that's kind of some of my views on those things, and I'm happy. I'm happy that I do spend the time with my daughter, and that I am there, and then it doesn't bother me that much that we don't have the same money as. But I mean, it's not that big a difference. It's I work on it. I mean, I'm working all the time on trying to make more money, and working up something that I think has a future viability also for her. Because I mean, when I make books are permanent. Books are an investment in the future. I mean, there's nobody who says that a book of mine won't be a hit in 20 years. Maybe it will be. You never know. Then she'll get the royalties. You know, so what I'm doing is I'm also investing in her future by doing that, because books are a passive income once they're made, unless, you know, you have to, of course, market them. But who's not to say that maybe in 50 or 100 years, okay, let's say 50 years, I'll be iconic or something as a coloring book artist. I don't know. You never know. But if I am, then she will have a steady income off of all the books that I made. So in that regard, yeah, I am still investing, and I'm still thinking about future. And the world is a strange place, you know. Things can go really quick. I mean, I think if I was living in another country, it would probably be a little bit easier to do what I do. It would be easier. I'm quite sure of that it would be easier. If I was, for instance, living in the States or in Canada, I think it would be easier with what I do to interact and start something with people. Whereas where I live right now, we are suffering from something called the Jantelov. Tina and I was talking about it yesterday, how horrible it is. And in Denmark, there's something that's called like, nobody should think that they're better than anyone else. I do agree with that, but, you know, this also says that it's sort of like, you know, everybody is very negatively charged. Nobody can sort of praise themselves and say, like if I say, I love my drawing, then a Danish person will say, oh, she's a stuffed up idiot. That's the kind of, you know, it's like in Denmark, you're not supposed to be proud of what you can do or what you are able to do. It's very, very strange to explain the Jantelov. It's very strange to explain, and it's very limiting in so many ways. And I'm very, very happy that I haven't seen it yet in my daughter. I don't instill that kind of thing in her. I want her to be proud of what she can do. I want her to love what she does. I do know that, you know, generally in Danish society, this does get instilled quite early in children, mainly because of, yeah, it's a very strange thing. It's like you're not supposed to be proud of who you are or what you can do, and you can't, like, you know, brag about what you're doing. You can't say, oh, I did this is awesome, this is amazing, I love it. You can't do that. That's like, oh, ooh, that is totally against everything. But I don't install that in Victoria, so I hope that she will grow up without getting it. I hope so, because it is such a limiting thing. I think, you know, it's installed in me since I was a kid. So I'm way faster on criticizing myself than I am on praising myself. Whereas we should be faster on appreciating ourselves instead of criticizing, because criticizing just brings negative energy. And it's not worth it. So I'm hoping, you know, that I can install some different values in my daughter, some values where she can see her own good sides and not let them be shadowed down by some belief in our society that everybody should be humble and critical of themselves. Nah. You know, I think you should be proud of what you are able to do and own it. You know, that's a way better approach. So I hope that my daughter will be like that. Exactly. Hi, Beth. Nice to see you. And welcome. Welcome to the jungle. Yes, but I think, you know, if I lived in a different country with a different set of values, then I might also have an easier way of making some, you know, like more events and stuff. Whereas here, there's, you know, no. I mean, I don't even go to the Danish coloring groups because they're all about only the books that they can get in the bookshop. That's the only thing that matters. They're not interested in looking at something that is outside of the bookshop. And they are very critical of everything they see and very negative. And I just gave up. I was just like, oh, I don't even want to like interact because they're just not that welcoming. I thought, you know, that in a Danish coloring group they would be interested in somebody who was also Danish and who wanted to do something for Danish colorists. But it seems like it's only if I go to other parts of Denmark, and then I will do that with the Tina and with the Charlotte. I'll try to do that. But generally here, people are sort of, I mean, they say that Danish people are the happiest people in the world. I don't think that that is true. Danish people may appear to be, but I think in reality they're just weighed down by their own prejudice and their own conception of right and wrong and stuff like that, you know. They're not as open as, you know, as it appears to be. They're very close, you know. If you smile at somebody on the street, they think you're crazy. I mean, in Spain, it was normal that people would just start talking to you. And even when you told them, I don't really speak Spanish, they would just keep on talking to you. And that's how I learned to speak Spanish, because that was the way that people were. Much more open, much more friendly. Here, if you smile at somebody at the bus sign, you can see on them they're thinking like, that's a weird person. She just smiled at me. You know, it's like that. That's how I feel after coming back from living in another country where everything was a little bit more open. Danish people seem to have like enough in themselves. I'm talking about my own people. They just seem to be very, very, self-sufficient. They don't need to make friends or whatever. I don't know. It's very hard to get in on a Danish social if you've been away. It's very, very difficult. It's very closed off. It's very, oh no, but we already have our things established and stuff, like they're not open to anything new or to new people. That's how I see it. Whereas I see in other countries, people are much more open. Exactly. I think it's really important to support indie artists, and that's also why I help and I do everything I can for the indie artists I know. Indie artists are more like the artists who are not recognized by the big marketing and the big shops yet. You can find independent artists that are doing their own thing. I mean, I have a huge amount of them in Global Doodle Gems that I have helped publish their own books, and there are artists who have contracts with big book companies. I will tell you why I started Global Doodle Gems. It's a really, I started Global Doodle Gems because I was getting attention, and people were asking me to color my drawings, and I got not one, I got 3 different offers, and that was when the coloring craze was at its highest. I didn't know that at that time because I was just showing my art. I had no idea about the coloring thing, and that it was a thing at all. I got 3 different offers from 3 different publishers. I'm not gonna mention names because I don't like to give a bad impression of anyone. But all the offers were very, very, very bad offers. The only one that was, that I would maybe think about was from Dover. But it was still not a good offer for an artist. Because all the offers was a very, very low price. Extremely low price. And no royalties. No royalties. Just a fixed amount for you to make a fixed set of drawings that they would own all the rights to. So that means the minute that they bought that set of drawings, you would never be able to use one of your own drawings again, because they would own the rights to the drawings, the rights to the books. And I know that many artists jumped on that boat because they felt flattered that somebody wanted to make a book with them. And I felt that it was pure exploitation of hungry, happy artists who just wanted to be acknowledged for what they were, and were so happy that somebody offered them something. But when you think about it, I remember, I think the best offer I had was the best offer I had was $3,000 for 37 pages, which is, I mean, it's not a bad offer, but I would lose every right to the pages. I would have no copyright. And they expected me to spend 3 to 4 months making it. And out of those $3,000, I would have to pay taxes, which is a 52% here. So that means that I would have less than 1,500 less. Let's say that if the taxes was 50%, then I have $1,500 for 3 to 4 months work. It's not going to cover my rent. It's not going to cover my expenses to food. And it's a one-time. No royalties on books sold. No copyright. It means, you know, you lose everything of the drawings that you made. And that was the best offer I got. That was the very best of the 3 offers I got. So when I was sitting and I was thinking a lot about that, the 3 offers I got, I was of course flattered that somebody wanted to publish a book with me. And I actually found out that one of the people, or one of the companies who offered me this deal, they were doing the books on CreateSpace. So I started researching CreateSpace, and I found out, well, I could just as easily do the book myself, totally myself, and then at least get the royalties myself and not have to give them 75% or whatever. And then I was like, this is not fair. This is really not, it's not fair to the artist to treat them like that. And that's why I started Global Doodle Gems, because I was thinking, okay, there's a lot of artists that are really awesome, and they should be seen, but they should not lose the rights to their work. So that's why I make Global Doodle Gems, so that artists could publish where they didn't have to like make 36 pages or 50 pages or something like that, where they could just contribute with 5 or 6 pages for a book. And then the books, the volumes of Global Doodle Gems would have 10 artists in each, with 5 drawings from each artist and 1 chapter page. And then everybody would get a percentage. And the one who would get the least percentage was, of course, the publisher, me. So I always made it that I took 10% of all the communal books where there was more than 1 artist on. And then I took 25% of the ones where it was an individual artist, because that was the opposite of what other people were doing. And the artists who would be doing anything with Global Doodle Gems would retain all rights to their own drawings, so that they would be able to also sell them individually on Etsy and Payhip, and they could make other books with them and use their work as they wanted to. And that was sort of my little rebellion against how this adult coloring craze was, because all I saw was big publishers exploiting artists, not even giving the artist the same as they give their receptionist. You know, the receptionist has a wage every month, but that wage of the receptionist would be more than the artists were paid for 3 to 4 months' work. So I was so appalled about that, and that was why I started Global Doodle Jams, because I thought, okay, you know, at least, you know, I'll give some people a chance to get into this and start. And I just wanted to, you know, to have the artists still have the rights to their fucking work, because I thought that that was so appalling. And I remember I had one artist who was working with me, and she was so happy to be in Global Doodle Jams, and she was like, this is so nice, this is so good. And then after like 2 months, because she had published a book previously with a big publisher, and she was writing me, I can't draw for Global Doodle Jams anymore, because in my contract it says that I cannot publish any similar works with anyone else than them. So that means that her contract prohibited her for drawing her style. It was like appalling. And then I said, well, so they're gonna do more books with you? No, they say that the one was enough, so they don't want to do any more, but I cannot make books with others either. I mean, it's such a dirty, dirty, dirty world. And that's why I think it's important that everybody supports indie artists who publish on their own, because the big publishers, they're just exploiting the artists, really exploiting. I mean, yeah, there's a few artists who probably have pretty good deals, like Johanna Bashford. She's the fucking queen of it. She started the whole thing, so she probably has a very good deal. Millie Marotta, you know, but you know, those are the very few of the very many who gets really exploited. So that's why I think it's that's why I did what I did. That's why I made Global Doodle Jams, because I wanted artists to have an outlet where they would get the majority of the percentage, and where they also would retain the rights to their own work. I mean, okay, Global Doodle Jams didn't take off. It was not a huge success, because a huge success takes money and marketing. And I thought that with as many, you know, I had over 140 artists. I thought with so many people, just the fact that we're so many to share, we will have a viral impact. But the problem was that most of the artists are stuck in that little ego-centered world where they cannot share anything from anyone else because they're afraid it will hurt their own business. So there was no fucking viral about it, because most of the artists would not share anything. Oh, I will only share it if I'm in it, and I'll only share it on my own page. And, you know, then, you know, the thing is, you know, if everybody had done that effort, Global Doodle Jams would have been fucking big. But I do understand. I understand how people feel. I was trying to help, and I do think that I helped quite a lot of people. I mean, I do think so, and I'm still doing that. But the whole engagement thing, I think people missed out on what was the real value of Global Doodle Jams. The real value was the numbers that we were in, that we were so many, because we could have made a difference if everybody made an effort. But the problem was that people weren't really interested in making an effort. So, yeah. it didn't pan out exactly how I thought it would. But it did, you know, I think it's been good for some artists who were willing to work and market themselves and help in the continuous process, and others fell behind. So it's a process. Everything is a process. But that was why I started Global Doodle Gems, and that was the idea of Global Doodle Gems. It was to give people who love to draw a possibility to participate in something bigger without getting ripped off by some stupid company who just wanted to make money off of them. That was my whole belief system, and I spent every fucking dime I had on it, everything, to make it work. And I spent every minute I had on it as well, cleaning everybody's drawings and making the books and doing everything. But then, you know, at some point I had to realize that I was, you know, there was only very, very few that were actually helping, you know, like with sharing and supporting and all that and helping out. And then at some point I had to say, okay, well, it's time for me to focus on myself then. Now I've tried to focus on everyone. Now it's me for a while. And then we'll see how things go. But my general, you know, my general take on that was I just wanted to do something that would be an alternative to those very exploiting big companies that just, I mean, the factory dude who packs the books will get a steady salary every month and be able to live off of it. As on the contrary, the artists who are spending 3-4 months making drawings for one book, they'll never really see the profit of that book. They will never even know what that book made. Never even made, you know, they'll never even know, because they'll just get a set price for the set of drawings. It's the same thing that happens when some companies make books where they just buy stock art, you know. Then the artist gets like a couple of cents a picture. I don't think it's fair. But I mean, if the artist puts it up for stock, then I guess, you know, that's their choice. They're just making, you know, trying to make a living. But I don't think the system is fair, and that's why I wanted to offer an alternative that would be like an artist collaboration. But of course, since I didn't have that much money, I didn't have the money to invest in a big marketing and all those things, because my whole scheme was relying on the artists helping to market and helping to share and make things viral. And they weren't really willing to do that. They were happy to participate, but they weren't willing to go the full Monty, all of them, which meant that it didn't really get as viral as it could have. And I'm not disappointed, because I think I did a great effort, and I think I did a really good work, and I think I helped a lot of people. Yeah, Global Doodle Gems is still in business, and I will be. I have here on my wall a lot of books that I still have to do, and I still do individual books, and I still have some volumes that will be coming out up until volume 25, and I have some collections that will be coming out when I have a time to make them. I'm not going to stress about it anymore. So I still have a lot. But I did do, you know, I did myself in a lot for a couple of years because I just, you know, I wanted to do something bigger than myself. And then in the end, I found out that, you know, nobody else wants to do something big. Yeah, a few, but not enough to make it really hit home. So then maybe it's better that I focus a little bit more on myself instead of spending all my time and energy on other people. So that's sort of like why I am not. It's not that I'm not doing global doodle gyms. I'm still doing global doodle gyms. So I'm also at sometimes I'm accepting new artists who wants to do individual, but I'm much more critical of who I accept, and they have to be able to do most of the work themselves. They have to be able to clean or take instructions on how to clean. Or, you know, I'm not going to do everything for everyone because I was killing myself with that. So, you know, but I think I tried. I tried to make a difference, and I think the alternative that I was offering was good. But the problem is, you know, if people don't market, if people don't share, then it doesn't make money. And then people get deterred when they don't get a lot of royalties. But, you know, do you expect your book to sell if you never share it? I mean, I had artists who did brilliant, brilliant books. I mean, really, where I'm thinking this is one of the most beautiful books I've ever seen. Beautiful work. Who didn't even share it on their own fan page. I mean, seriously, didn't even share it on their own page. I mean, how are you gonna expect to make money then? It was very frustrating because I spent a lot of time, a lot of energy, and a lot of money. At that time when I started Global Doodle Gems, I had more money than I have now, and I thought this is, you know, I will invest in this because it's a future, and I'm happy I did because I invested in something that I think is a great thing. Hasn't paid off, but you know, it's not every time that you do something that is great that is gonna pay off. You run a risk, and that risk you have to be aware of before you do it. And of course, it's the same thing like if you borrow money out to a friend. Like I say, if you borrow money out to a friend, you have to be prepared for the fact that you're not going to get them back. And before you make the decision if you're going to borrow it out, then you're going to have to make peace with yourself that you're going to be okay if you don't get them back. Otherwise, you have to say no. So in that respect, I'm fine. I did my bit, and I will continue to do my bit. And it will continue to get better. I know that. But if they don't, you know, yeah, I don't know. I did a lot of work, and I did a lot of awesome, beautiful books. Did you know, great quality, great, beautiful works, and yeah, it's not failed at all because it's made. It's still there, and I still have more to do. But right now, I just have a more focus on me because at least I do something every day, and it's what all the artists should be doing. Something every day. If you don't want to do something every day, then maybe just draw for a hobby, you know? Maybe just, you know, realize that it's not for you to have it as a business, but that you love the hobby. And that's that. So that was kind of a bit of background on me, on Global Dual Gems, on the idea behind Global Dual Gems, because the idea behind Global Dual Gems was to create an alternative for artists. I also had artists who are now selling really, really well, and who are doing really, really well, who were in Global Dual Gems as passive members for maybe a year or two, or a year and a half, picking up all the tips that I was giving the artists of how to do things. And then in the end, we didn't really want to contribute to the books because they already picked up enough tips to make their own, which I think is fine also. You know, I mean, that's the way things are. But it's funny because I could mention a lot of funny names that would surprise people. But I don't do that because I think that all the artists that I've ever been in contact with are unique. And each and every one has a great talent and has struggled to get where they are. So those who went in and pretended that they wanted to be a member of Global Dual Gems just to get my tips on how to do things, they are all forgiven because their artwork is definitely worth it, and they did a really good job at marketing themselves. So at least they learned the lesson. So I'm happy for everyone who does well. That doesn't mean that I don't remember. Doesn't really, you know, I will always recall what happened. And I'm not like, you know, I'm not the kind of person who gets angry or bitter or anything. I just move on, and I try to do everything the best I can. And, you know, then it's, you know, right now I might limit Global Dual Gems a bit. But I say, okay, I don't do as much work, but it's not off. Like, some people are worried that there's not going to be anything more, but there is. I mean, when I publish my books, there's still Global Dual Gems books, and I have plenty of artists who are still publishing with the Global Dual Gems, their individual books, so it's not going to stop. It's just going to be more focused on those artists who actually are willing to work for themselves and promote themselves because they deliver perfect work. So I don't have to spend eons of time cleaning it. So that's kind of the way that I'm going down, that I'm saying, yeah, well, you know, I will still publish. And if you want to publish with me, you can publish with me. But you need to be able to clean your own work and deliver all the material done. I will help you with the cover if you need it. I will design the cover. I'll do those things. But I will not clean your pictures. I will not spend 300 hours cleaning your drawings. No, those days are over, because I did that constantly before. So now it's more based on who can also help themselves. And that's a nicer way for me to work, because it leaves me more time to work for me. So in that respect, it's just moved on to a new phase. So anyways, we are getting, because we're getting close to 3:20, 3 hours and 20 minutes, and at 4 hours it cuts off. So did everyone leave me, or are you still here? I'll stop ranting. I'll stop ranting. But I've just been I wanted to do something that was bigger, the artists, and I think I did. So I think I achieved everything that I wanted to do, and now it's just like moved to a new phase where I also want to achieve a little bit for myself, and that's that. That's that. I can't believe this one has taken so long. It must be because I'm talking so much, because it shouldn't take that long, this one. But they are getting very pretty, the girlies. Very pretty girls. I think they're going to be very sweet. So that's fine. So anyways, that's sort of, you see them, they're getting very pretty. I think it's a good color combo. After I took out off the darker ones and I just left those 9, I think it's a very lovely combo of 9. So now we got our style file 9. So we got the chameleon 9, the tiger 9, but the tiger 9 is pretty easy. And then we got the shark 9, now we got the style file 9. So we need the Letra Set Pro 9. That would also be fun. I really like those markers as well. I like all those markers. And I kind of like all the materials. Oh, I can see there were messages. 10 p.m. Yeah, you're still here. I think I had a delay on getting the messages. Hello? Oh, you've been there since 4:30, Bev. I think it's going to be really pretty. Oh, Beverly Ann, you're new, so you might want to know that while I'm coloring this, you can still get it for free, just so that you know, because the link is up there. But when I finish coloring, I will put it up. I will put it at $1.50. So right now, it's set at the 0+, which means that you can get it for free. The page that I'm working on, and that's sort of like a little bonus for those who are watching the video. So after that, I will change it to being at a price. So just so that you know that you can go in the description of the video post and click on the link and you can get it for free. It's set at 0+. So just a little thing that's nice to know if you get in a little bit late. And normally it's not a WeirdiDala. Normally we do Weirdies every day, but today we're doing an extra, and that's a WeirdiDala because I have to color for the cover of WeirdiDala, of my books, WeirdiDala 3, and I need to color them. It's much more fun to color with company than to color alone. So otherwise you can catch us on Color Weirdy a Day, where there's every day a live coloring event every evening. Well, it's afternoon probably where you are, but well, for me it's evening, late evening. So we are coloring Weirdy a Day, and you can also see that both on my page and everything, see what goes on there. which is kind of interesting and fun. Hi, Ross. Oh, you're welcome. I just wanted, I haven't seen you before, so, it's nice to sort of get a little information about what's going on and what is happening. If you haven't been here before, everybody else knows what's going on, but you're new, so a little recap is in its place. And the recap is that you can get this for free while I'm coloring, and that we do a Weirdy a day. And this is a WeirdiDala. It's different. The Weirdy that was done today was this one. So I'll just show you. Yeah, we do a Weirdy a day. We started on January 1st. Today was our 16th Weirdy. So it's a daily thing. So, maybe you would want to join us for that. It's fun. And you can get the daily pages for free. Well, it said it's 0+, so if you want to leave a tip, you can leave a tip on my PayHip. It's the same PayHip as a link that's in the description, where if you just click on the AMW art, you'll get to the main page, and then you can see the Weirdies from before. And you can see new Weirdies, and you can usually hit them up a couple of days before. And there you can go in and see what we got going and get the Weirdies. So I hope you will do so and join us and try it out. It's fun. Well, we're nice people when I'm not ranting all the time about all kinds of things. The color scheme I'm using is yellow, yellow, orange, red, pink, purple, blue, turquoise, green, and in between green and yellow. That's yeah, it's 5 a.m. Shit, I should take a shower soon. When I finish this, I will need to take a shower so I can cook a breakfast. And then it's off to school. Yeah, I have to be fast because soon it's gonna be 4 hours is the limit, and I've been like 3:28. I still have time. We will get there. No rush, no stress. We don't like stress. I hate stress. I'm the kind of person who would rather wait half an hour for the next bus than to run after one. That's sort of my mental philosophy. If I see a bus coming and I know, yeah, if you run like hell, you might make it. But if you don't, you'll make the next one. And you'll have time to smoke a cigarette while you're waiting for the next one. Then I'm not going to run for the bus, no. But of course, I also live in a capital. So that means that the buses come pretty quickly. So I think, maybe if I was living in the countryside where the buses comes once an hour, then I might see that differently and I might run for the bus. But where I live now, I do not run for the bus. I never did. But that's if I was living in a place where the bus came once an hour, I might make a run for it. So makes sense, doesn't it? So I was there. This is here. I just constantly find my place here. I think they're turning out really pretty, these dancing girlies. I can't believe they took so long. It must have been because I talked so much. Maybe next time I should just shut up and color. But then where would the fun be if I wasn't talking? I mean, it's always, you know, a little bit fun to interact and know each other better by, you know, how better to get to know each other by knowing each other's opinions and stance on different things, you know. So I mean, that's a part of interaction, is also to get to know each other better. And now I've like explained exceptionally a lot of parts of what I do and why I do it and how I do it, and you know, especially why. I mean, I think why is the most important thing. Um, I like people to understand what is the driving force behind what I do, and mainly it's because I just wanna do something good and I wanna do something different. That was why I made Global Dual Gems, and it's why I'm doing Color Weirdy a day, because you know I could just sit and publish books if I wanted to do that, but I don't want to do that. I want to have a bigger impact. I want to have a more I just decided in here, in the very tip, in the very start, I said this one's going to be yellow, so the next one's going to be orange, the next one's going to be red. So that's how the order is decided of how to do them. Doesn't really matter which order you do them in, Kat, but you know, the decision is made when you make that first color in the tip, because that's how the spiral is going to go down. Right now, Alex, I'm using style file markers, and I'm using two different kind of style file markers. You see these. The real difference between these is the one have a brush tip. Yeah. The other one has a felt point. So both of them have in the back a chisel. So these are the style file markers, but I use a lot of other markers too. So that's true. There, it's supposed to go there. So I use a lot of other markers. Sorry. No. Sometimes I will mix up the brands just to get the colors. It's very, you know, it depends on how I feel on the day. Sometimes I might mix up like 3 or 4 brands. Sometimes I work with one brand. It's not really about the brand. It's more about the coloring, because this is about coloring a Weirdy a day. So I use different ones. I give you my opinions on the different ones I use, and I will also at some point start using some more colored pencils and the pastels and different things like that when I'm coloring Weirdies. So that will be switching up a lot, what I use and what I don't use, because it depends what I have and what I feel like using in the moment. Got them screenshot, that's good. They're really good, these markers anyway, so. But no, I also use chameleons, I use Let Rosette Pro markers, I use Sharpies, I use Tiger Twin markers, I use colored pencils, I will use all kind. I have so many sets of colored pencils that I'm gonna try out. But I'm taking it little by little, and I will add. And every time I'm using something, I will tell you about how I feel about them and my experiences with them and how they work for me, what works and what not. So that you can sort of get an impression of whatever that material is like. One way. So yeah. So no, I don't go exclusively with one material at all. I like to try everything out. I like to work with a lot of different brands. So I do have, like, you know, if something that I don't that I tried before and I don't like, you know, then I'm not likely to use it again, because then it goes with my daughter's art box. So if it's something that I didn't like, then I'm not likely to use it. So there's a time limit. No, I'm getting close to it. I can't believe that it took me this long. It must have been because I've been talking so much. So much. Imagine that one person can talk that much in that few hours. Yeah, crazy. So yeah, now I stay on that light green because I'm gonna put on the yellow to start the next round of colors here to get that spiral going. And then we got that WeirdiDala going. I mean, this is, oof, I still got 6 WeirdiDalas to color before I have enough for the cover. But then WeirdiDala 3 will have a cover and I can publish it. So it's definitely been a much more fun process so far, coloring for this cover, than when I colored for the 2 first ones, because those I was just scanning with each color. I didn't have a live video and interact like I'm doing now. So that's a big switch up that makes it a lot more fun, much less boring to do these covers, because now there's, like, you know, there's a purpose, somebody to do it with, and much more fun. Yeah, I have a tendency to work in a rainbow. Sometimes it will be lighter rainbows or darker rainbows, but a lot of times it will be a rainbow theme. And a lot of times it will go 9, because I like the number 9. So that's another thing. But it sort of depends on the image and on how I feel. But rainbow is definitely my preferred, my go-to coloring thing. So expect rainbows and weirdies, not unicorns, but rainbows and weirdies. And twisters. I love twisters. I love making twisters, so I do a lot of those. So now we're going to be on the last round, and I have to be like a little bit quicker because we're getting very close to the 4-hour mark and I don't want to be cut off. But we only have like one little last round to go, so it's not that big a stress. I can't believe that took me so long to do this one. It's a pretty simple one. So yeah, I must have talked your ears off. You must be really sick listening to me now. Yeah, I like the number 9 too. I must have talked a lot, because this one should be able. Well, I've been doing it slowly. I haven't been doing it like super fast or anything, but that's because I like the process and getting it right, and because it's from the cover, so it has to be right. But I must have talked a lot. to have so much time passed. So good company makes time run and fly. And of course I will be back tomorrow to color the Weirdy of tomorrow, which is a pretty cool one. And we'll have a great time with that too. This is good. It's gonna be pretty. I think we're doing really well on this one. I think it's a beautiful, vibrant colors. And I think it's gonna scan like a dream. I really hope so. And the last one goes on. We're getting close to the end. That's so sweet. No, you're not sick of listening to me. Thank you, Bev. That's so sweet of you. And thank you, Heather. I know you wouldn't stay. I mean, if you thought I was obnoxious and annoying, you wouldn't stay with me. So I do understand that. But still, sometimes I'm thinking that I'm blabbering too much or rambling. But it's just, you know, I'm sitting here and talking and I get started on something. And then I just go on and on and on. So, but now you know a lot more about me, at least. I mean, you cannot say that I'm not really hiding anything about myself. So in that respect, I'm a very me person. So I'm looking forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. This one is done, and it looks awesome. I'll lift it up to the cam so you can see it a little bit closer. The dancing little girlies, weirdy girlies, and I think they're absolutely beautiful. And they all have their own little different color scheme. They have the same color scheme, but they're all different. I kind of really like that fact when I do. That's why I do it in that spiral, so that each and every one will be an individual. So I'm gonna say good night to you guys and thank you for today. And to any new ones, I hope you will join us tomorrow. Tomorrow we will be, today, our Weirdy of the day was this Weirdy, which is a very nice one. And tomorrow we're going to be coloring him. And if you look on my page, you'll find a link to get him for free on my pay it. And that's what we're coloring tomorrow. And this is what we color today. And this was the extra one of today. So now I'm seriously going to close everything off. Big hugs and kisses for everyone. And see you tomorrow. Bye.